this is the final test match of the INDIES series, and it's being played between Australia and the West Indies. Australia 4-0 so far in the series. The West Indies the opportunity of breaking that run, and the Australians are looking at 15 in succession at test match level. The news is that West Indies have won the toss, and that's a big toss to win, I reckon, because there'll be plenty in the pitch as the game goes on. It is described by Steve Waugh as being a typical old-style SCG pitch, which means there'll be plenty of runs there. There have been centuries and double centuries made on this ground in the time during which Steve Waugh talks about, and you have the opportunity of more runs today. Wavell Hines is the man in your picture. He's been pushed up to bat at number 2 in the West Indies side. Number 1 is Sherwin Campbell, who's been struggling so far on this tour.
Doesn't seem as if he knows exactly how to get a run at the moment.
The ball against the Australians from England will be Glenn McGrath. Taking strike for the West Indies, Sherwin Campbell.
Sherwin Campbell playing a bit late, but looking to play a shot, I think. So maybe the message is with Wavell Hines, his partner at the other end. We're down 4-0. Let's play some shots today. They've won the toss. Good bounce there from McGrath and some seam back into the right-hander. Of course, some concern early on. That's batsman coming down, so that would suggest, Michael, the moisture that was put in the pitch this morning, that ball holding up.
Definitely, that will help the ball to grip, of course, a bit of lateral movement, but immediately we see Steve Waugh adjusting the field. There's a man down at third man.
Well, he's gone for it, and that's the plan, obviously. He'll play some shots. Didn't quite get that up. He slips over as well, Sherwin Campbell, but picks up 2. When you're out of form, you don't pick the right ball. If you can have a bit of luck here and settle down. I think he's very nervous. It's obvious the way he started to play that he's pumped up. He's had a terrible series. When you're a batsman out of form, there's no substitute for time in the middle. He's tried to do it defensively. He's failed. Enormous pressure. Dropping in short. I'm not sure why. He's got a batsman who's struggled around about off stump. Far too short. Graf and the members' end. Sherwin Campbell goes for it and gets it away. Well played. Was short. Played the full shot. Confidence builder.
Good hook shot from Sherwin Campbell. The height was what was very important here. We saw 2 earlier bouncers going well over his head. First time he attempted the hook shot, wasn't anywhere close to the ball. Second time he allowed it to go because he realized it was too high. This time the height, just about shoulder height, hit down on the ball. No problems there.
That's the lineup. Andy Bickle unlucky, getting 5 wickets in the Melbourne Test, relegated to 12 men. The 2 spinners in the side, McGill and Miller, which you would expect at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Well balanced team. It's well bowled and well played. Play to 8, soft hands.
Stiff cord unpacked again. I think that's the length and the line that Steve Waugh is trying to tell Glenn McGrath he needs him to bowl.
It's going to be Gillespie. He's off the mark. That's well run by Sherwin Campbell. Realised his partner needed a run. Good early call. Winning streak. There's Captain Stephen Waugh. He's on a roll. It may have been a good pitch to win the toss on. So far it's aided the quick bowlers. You may see some turn early on. Well, there's some moisture there as well, particularly for the off spinner Colin Miller. Oops, dropped in. There you go. Gillespie, he dropped one in Melbourne. He's got one at the Sydney Cricket Ground as well. It's none for 7.
Glenn McGrath continuing. Direct hit here would be close. They won the toss this morning on a lovely day and have decided that they want first use of the pitch, and so far so good from a West Indian point of view. Oh, that's close, that's close. Well, perhaps it was just slipping down the leg side. Our commentary box is right behind the bowler's arm here. Great spot to commentate from. It looked as if it was pretty straight. He's perhaps it angled in a little bit. Pitching, yes, on off stump and just missing leg, but only just missing leg.
I thought maybe it had bounced a little bit in this tacky surface and stood up and hit him above the knee roll too, but it didn't. I think that's pretty close. I think that's straightened over.
Oh, he's had a go at that one. Didn't quite get hold of it. Off the spot. Too quick for him, in fact. Back for the second, though. But this is positive cricket from Campbell. At least he's trying to get things moving here.
It is. It's really good to see him have some fun playing his shots. You never know. He might start to time them and get away from the Aussies.
Well, the umpire is covered as well these days. A reverse slip camera. And you can see the bowler in the background there, Stewie McGill, about to come in now. Straight into Langer. He's going to have a pitch every now and again because he really is trying to toss it up there, trying to force a shot out of the batsman. Fumbled by Steve Waugh, and they get a single. No wicket for 70.
Backward square there in screen. He's the only man out. Regulation mid-on and short leg. So they want Sherwin Campbell to swing across, and if Stuart McGill gets his length right, trouble.
That's the easier one to hit across into that area for 4. If it's a full toss, of course, no danger because it's not going to bounce and turn and create a bit of a problem. That was nicely played.
It was. We've seen it. We've seen the miss time and miss hit full tosses this series. If they get bowled, they need to be put away. It was a top spinner, over pitched, timed and placed for 4.
Away, and that's through the gap as well. That did go down to the boundary, will it? No, won't quite make it. In comes the throw. Oh, and scampering there, both ends. Wicket for 24.
Jason Gillespie continuing. 4 slips, 2 gullies. Runs everywhere in front of the wicket. Sherwin Campbell is willing to play his shots today.
Oh, it's a no, and if he hits the stumps direct, he's gone. He's missed. Well, there was an opportunity, and he doesn't often miss. In fact, it's Langer who hit the stumps direct in Melbourne on one occasion. Big opportunity here for a run out.
It was a great call by Wavell Hines to send Sherwin Campbell back, and look at him stop and scrape up the middle of that wicket. The throw missed. It was a great call by Wavell Hines rather than him get run out.
Better start for the West Indies at none for 29. Stuart McGill into the attack in the first hour. He's now bowling his 7th over. Good placement there from Sherwin Campbell. That ball runs away very quickly down towards the ladies' stand. I must say, this Sydney Cricket Ground outfield, they've done a lot of work, spent a lot of money on the ground, and it's been money well spent. I haven't seen the outfield look this good for a long, long time.
To be the one that comes out of the front
Stuart McGill's hand. He just pushes it out the front. It doesn't roll the fingers across the seam at all. It just slides out the front of his hand. And that one totally confused Sherwin Campbell. Sherwin Campbell's generally looking for the shorter one, the one to square cut.
It's only when Stuart McGill really bowls a full toss, that's the only time that Sherwin Campbell's looking to drive. People still coming in here at the SCG. Bit of room up on the hill and a bit in the Doug Walters stand. The rest of the ground is pretty full. Oh, that's an excellent shot, right off the middle of the bat.
And that's what we saw. Sherwin Campbell play one of these in Melbourne to get off the mark in the first innings. And that's about all we saw. Today we're seeing much more intent from Campbell. He's doing a lot of footwork there. That was nice and straight.
This is the Federation Test match, the 5th in the Ansett series, Australia versus West Indies. That's the one that Campbell's been looking for. Anything short, he's pounced on it.
This is 4th boundary, Sherwin Campbell. Definitely is looking to score more this morning. Yes, no Colin Miller yet. I'm surprised we don't see Colin Miller shortly into the attack, probably from the Randwick southern end of the ground.
That time going hard at it, over the top of the slips.
That's going to bring the 50 up for the West Indies. Not in convincing form, really. Fair bit of bat on this one, Sherwin Campbell. It looked to me like he was deliberately trying to lift the ball over the offside field. A bit of width, just threw the bat at it. No attempt to keep the ball on the ground. It went sailing over gully. Jimmy Adams has won, I think, the 2 big tosses in the series. Look at the Gabba, Wacker and the MCG. I don't really think the toss of the coin made a lot of difference in those matches, but those wickets did something for the entire match. Adelaide and Sydney with some more runs. We just get the 2 on this occasion. I think Adelaide and Sydney from better wickets to bat on first and good wickets to win the toss on. It's the over bowl, none 53.
No better sight in this cricket world than the SCG on a cloudless day, nice temperature and a full house. He's 7 on the board now. The cricket fans of Sydney and New South Wales have thronged to Moore Park, hoping to see a very good contest. That's what they've seen this morning. 42 to Campbell, 13 to Hines. Australians seeking 15th win on the trot. West Indies seeking to stop them in their tracks. It's not quite got that off the middle. He's hit it in the air.
Productive shot again for Sherwin Campbell. No way you would say it's a good looking shot, but it's productive. It's been positive and he's getting runs. Not too many fielders in front of square.
A nice stroke. an interesting move. McGrath was awake to what Hines was doing, that he was just turning without much thought. Now Campbell has scored most of his runs on the offside. One good one down there, an off drive, and then he's been pushing around the onside as well.
Was positive from this first delivery this morning, Sherwin Campbell.
Most of the running between the wickets has been pretty good. There was one chance where there was a send back and could have been a run out. It's 64 on the board without loss. There's some good strokes coming from Sherwin Campbell's bat today.
Looks a completely different player at the moment, Sherwin Campbell. Just a bit of positive intent. Still wouldn't say perfect with his footwork, but a bit more positive intent. Bowlers have a different mindset when they are bowling to a batsman that's a bit more positive, and it has paid off.
Good shot. First bouncer in a couple of overs, and Campbell got himself in a very good position.
And again, he played the shot and was comfortable with the shot because of the height. You see that ball just about getting the shoulder height, not above the height of the shoulder, and so a lot more comfortable height at which to play that shot. He did well.
They've certainly started well. Campbell on 49, Wavell Hines on 20.
That's well played, Sherwin Campbell. He gets 50 with a nice little punch through cover. So he goes to 51, his first decent score of the summer, but a very courageous effort. Made his way to the crease this morning, tried to play some shots in the first over, mistimed and on drive, got 2 runs, but to settle down. This is a fine knock.
Yes, the only problem I've got with this field is that there's a man at extra cover that should be a lot straighter. So there we are. That's where his runs have been scored, the 50 of them.
Cracking shot through the slipcord, and that's 4. Slashing away off the back foot. None for 79. Miller around the wicket to the left-handed Wavell Hines. Could be his first boundary. In fact, it is just off the back foot, beautifully played. The over bowled, none for 83. All bowlers used today by Stephen Moore, McGrath, Gillespie, McGill and Miller. Andy Bickle, the 12th man. McGill coming into this team. What a sight. Looking down towards the Randwick end. Full house. Ideal conditions. Oh, great shot. Short. Cracked it away. Beautifully played, Wavell Hines. 6 runs off the over. None for 89. Miller continues. Wavell Hines scoring a beautiful boundary off that last delivery through the point region. He moves to 29. Campbell's on 57. Good shot, but doesn't. Oh, it misses. Misfield. Gillespie not getting down, and that's 4. Well, a little bit of pressure applied. Misfield start.
Yes, there have been 1 or 2 little mishaps in the field. And that certainly was one. There was an opportunity for a run out as well, which wasn't seized upon. It was played just to his left, and certainly didn't get into position to stop that one. Got a finger on it, and that's about it.
And that's nice, that's touch. His feet are moving now, Sherwin Campbell. Although his Fay is behind him, he's looking in very good touch. This is good cricket by the West Indies. The left and right-handed combination working. Way behind's 2 boundaries and since the luncheon break. And Sherwin Campbell showing a bit of touch there. None for 96. What odds, Tony? None for 96.
Yes, big odds, eh? Real big odds.
And it could be a none for 100. Miller a fraction short and he's punished. Good cricket, West Indies. Brings up the 100 without loss on the first day. Joy for the West Indian batsman at last.
Yes, that's very well done.
Fourth 100 open partnership in the last 7 years for the West Indies, so it's of importance, apart from the 4-0 grubbing so far.
Yes, the bowlers are beginning to wonder, no doubt, what's going on. Certainly the fast men have bowled 11 overs apiece, McGrath and Gillespie. No wicket for 28 and 23 respectively. The spinners have had 9 and 7, McGill 9, Miller 7.
Oh, great shot. That's 4 more. We'll soon see one of these ships disappear. The first time really, apart from a period in the Adelaide Oval, Australian bowlers on the back foot shaking their heads. No longer the 5 slips and 2 gullies and whatever. No bat pad. A very good start.
It's back to the more orthodox type of start.
Batsmen to come. Jimmy Adams, Brian Lara, young Samuels, who played very well in Adelaide and the MCG. Young Marlon Samuels, he looks to be the find of the tour with the bat for the West Indies. Oh, little inside edge. Races away for 4. Not a chance. The angle, got an edge. Buck running with the batsman at last for the West Indies.
Yeah, it's very difficult for wicketkeepers. The change of direction off the inside edge is such that they'd be lining the ball up, and then all of a sudden the change in direction, away he goes, and he was about well, perhaps 3 or 4 inches off the ball. Would have been a great catch, but never quite got there.
That's the lineup. 7 batsmen, including Gilchrist, and the bowlers. Bickle 12th man.
He's got a few part-timers there. Ricky Ponting has been known to create a few problems with these little medium paces. Oh, he smashed that one through the offside field. Boy, and they're not bothering to run there. That was outside off stump, flayed away through to the fence for 4. Good shot.
That's a good pitch. That's the way the West Indians normally play. The confidence is lifting.
1 for 122. West Indies, 43 overs bowled. 2 spinners on at the moment, so we'll certainly get some overs in now. Australia could well bowl about 50 overs by the halfway stage in this match, or this day's play, should I say. That's 50 for Wavell Hines. He's coming back for 2. Coming back comfortably. That's well played.
Second 50 for the series for Wavell Hines. 5th of his career. 2nd against Australia. This one's been a battle. It hasn't been easy. 5 fours, most of those coming since lunch. 2 hours and 40 minutes compiling that. Sherwin Campbell's been a great partner for him.
Oh. None for 124. Well, that's the site out to the east of the ground, Fox Studios. Something I wouldn't recommend, I can tell you that. He might reappear in a moment. Yeah, there he is. Right next to that, the West Indies are none for 124 out in the middle of the SCG. Doing it very nicely. Starting to pick the run rate up now. Run rate's heading up towards 3. 2.81 to be exact at the moment. That one's beaten everyone. There's no sweeper in the right-handed Campbell either, so he'll probably get 3. I'm just not getting the right line on this one.
And we've seen throughout this series the West Indies missed these opportunities, but Sherwin Campbell today really got his eye on the ball. He's wanting the ball to come to him, and he's got enough bat on that to be very effective.
47 overs bowled here at the SCG. West Indies 134 without loss. 2.5 centuries to the opening batsman. Oh, the first loose shot from Wavell Hines. He's got it away. May even get 3. Certainly was a wild swing though from Wavell Hines. Lucky to get away with it.
It's great to see them erring on the side of aggression though. The bowler will know he's got his work cut out for him. Even next ball after this, it was perfectly bowled, just a little bit full again. There was a big gate left by Hines, and he was looking to go down the ground and ended up pulling it across the mid-wicket, but it was the right attitude. Stuart MacGill won't mind it though.
On that occasion, the bowler was lucky to get away with one. Big full toss. Just went for the single. Don't know how that's missed off stump. Wavell Hines made a real mess of this. It was really a full toss. Drifted in a little bit. He played all around. The ball must have gone perilously close to the stumps.
Once again, that head of Wavell Hines falling over, losing his balance. Colin Miller almost getting a wicket with that full ball.
Oh, chance this time. Well, a mix-up again. Calls of a yes and then a big no. In the end, Wavell Hines gets back. None for 139.
This is a record opening partnership for the West Indies.
I think this replay suggests that's gone just to Ricky Ponning's right. There he is. He's got about 2 steps to his right. He's got the ball. Wavell Hines got 2 yards back, down and just got back. Oh, he's hit that well, though. That's a cracking shot. Well, there's that drive we've been talking about through the offside. On this occasion, Wavell Hines got there and absolutely smashed it through the offside.
He just walks away. Walks to the right of screen after this shot, not to his partner. Basically saying to himself, come on, that's what you're trying to do. Get your head back down. Play like that. That's real calypso, that.
West Indies batsmen in the pavilion haven't had the opportunity to do this too much during the series. Sit around and watch a big partnership.
No wonder they're smiling. Generally, it's been a lot of crisscrossing between there and the picket fence. And now, yes, Darrell Hare has said yes. There was just a moment where Sherwin Campbell wasn't sure if he'd played that into the pitch. I think you'll find that Sherwin Campbell hit the ball and hit the pitch as well. He took a fraction of a pace there, so there's no doubt, and he's hit the ground as well. So he's just waited. MacGill knew, he saw it come straight at the face of the bat, and so did Darrell Hare, the umpire. And Campbell, just for a moment, wasn't certain because of the ball striking the pitch quite firmly. Very good innings. Caught by MacGill's 79, 1 for 147.
Jimmy Adams now needs to play in a similar vein. Almost threw him. Pair in the last test. almost gone first ball in this one. Sherwin Campbell was loath to drive Stuart MacGill throughout his innings, mainly because he doesn't like to leave his crease, and eventually the spinner tempted him into playing the drive shot, and he hit a return catch. That's what the bowler wants to do. He wants to make the batsman play a shot that he's not comfortable with. And that's what brought about the success. That's worth asking. No shot played. .66 to Wavell Hines. Jimmy Adams not yet off the mark. That's a good shot. No one at mid-wicket. And the left-hander really shouldn't allow a leg spinner to bowl without a mid-wicket. Not in the deep.
A beautiful short-arm jab. Wasn't all that short. MacGill for a moment might have thought he was in with a chance, but the bit of bounce there was to Wavell Hines' benefit. It was only a short armour.
Oh, nice.
Now MacGill won't mind that. He's left the outfield, as Steve Waugh has left the outfield vacant.
He's bowled him. Gone right through Wavell Hines. He hasn't looked confident when driving at the leg spinner. On that occasion he was attempting to defend, but it's gone right through him.
That's good cricket from Stuart MacGill. He's defeated Campbell with flight, and that one seemed to me from the naked eye to be a bit flatter. Drew him into the drive and had him playing, well, almost a nothing shot. Almost a change of mind, and beautifully bowled by Stuart MacGill. Defeated him in the flight again. That's twice with two batsmen. He's done that, one to the right hander, one to the left, out for 70 and two for 152.
Brian Lara has come in and asked for two legs, and he won't mind coming in this situation with the two spinners bowling, and immediately off the mark. A good over there from Stuart MacGill. Wavell Hines being bowled. Wavell Hines really yorked himself. Just basically played over the top of a full toss. He's a very aggressive player, particularly against the spinners when he first comes in. Lets them know that he's not going to be dominated. Fine touch on that one. Another long chase for Jason Gillespie. Lara seems to be running just a little more freely in this match than what we saw him in Adelaide. So that's what a captain's looking for. Try and get the match up in your favour. He's certainly got that as far as the stats are concerned, with McGrath bowling to Lara and Jimmy Adams.
There's a quick intake of breath in the commentary box here. I don't know whether Jimmy did the same thing out there. That looked as though it was quite close to off stump.
That's worth a shout. Adam Gilchrist liked the look of it. Now, he was right in line. He certainly hadn't headed down the leg side.
Glenn McGrath certainly has the ability to bring the ball back into the left-hander bowling right arm over. We just showed you the LBW shout. That one came back in, pitched in line and straightened.
2 straight, that one. Right, now that's 3,000 runs for Jimmy Adams.
Fourteen half centuries and 6 centuries for Jimmy Adams.
During that over, the 2 runs to Jimmy Adams brought up 3,000 test runs at an average of 42.
And did he keep that one down? Running away down towards the boundary. Actually pretty well played. He got into position nice and early there and got it right off the middle of the bat.
Not a great deal of bounce there for Glenn McGrath. And those are the balls that the batsmen are much better off pulling and hooking. That height, not even up to shoulder height. Very easy to put those away once you get yourself in the right position, that is. Perhaps 8-9 inches above the waist. Very comfortable height.
This is the first time that he has played in 4 consecutive test matches. He's had a lot of problems, a fair bit of bad luck as well. And he's had that run of test matches interrupted by injury. Didn't play in the first test match, but from the second test match onwards has been in the wickets. Oh, that's close. Yes, he's given him. Now then, did it pitch just outside leg stump? Well, we know we'll establish that. Or was McGrath, as usual, bang on target and just straightening it down the line? Took a while to give it out. There was no rush about that. He gave it a lot of thought, the umpire, but eventually put his finger up.
Very close call. Very, very close call. To get the batsman out, right arm over, you should be pitching in line with the stumps and straightening. Very unlikely that you'll see the ball going towards the slip cord and then the ball pitching in line and still being able to hit the stumps. Woody Kurtzon took a very long time. Well, he's gone anyway. It's 3 for 174.
Marlon Samuels, the new batsman, 19 years of age and having a pretty good time at the moment. A good batting average for a youngster. He's played well in this series, brought out here as a replacement. 60 and a 40 in the Melbourne Test match. Last man out in the second innings, McGrath to him. Oh, that's out. No, he says no. Perhaps it was just slipping down the leg side.
Definitely going down the leg side. Marlon Samuels was quick to push that left leg of his towards the leg side, but the movement of the ball, you would have seen that it would have been missing. Have a good look at this. Marlon Samuels coming across, ball pitching just about off stump or fractionally outside off stump, hitting him in line with leg stump. Well, the movement that it has already done, that should take it past leg stump. There was Glenn McGrath saying the same thing.
Well, that was a good decision by umpire Kurtzon. The question is, was this one a good decision? We'll come back and have a look at it in a second. At the moment, the score 3 down for 174. Lara this time having to wait as the field is changed a little bit. It was Glenn McGrath actually went all the way over to the bowler to have a little chat to him. Slowed things up a little bit for Lara, made him wait a little longer. And nicely played, driven down the ground, it's running away and Glenn McGrath's going to have to do the chasing.
Marlon Samuels, just 19 years of age. It's beaten, and he gets away with it. A good edge, didn't carry, maybe Gilchrist could have dived. Gets a boundary, the over bowled, 3 for 184. Well, no, he's not using his feet, it's just playing from the crease, very watchful. He's on 17. It's a 72nd over. Hasn't scored since the tea break. He's faced 16 deliveries. Has now, through cover for 4.
A lot of players, when they go into their shell like that 16-ball period, then miss time the first chance they want to take. This one, full toss. And that was the problem for McGill in Adelaide. Timed and placed.
Wonderful crowd, full house. New Book Sydney Cricket Ground. The oval's in magnificent condition. Completely relaid the outfield, new pitch area. It's just a little push down the mid-on. Pick up 2.
Well, here's another example of Marlon Samuel's lack of urgency at the moment. He almost surprised himself that there was a run here. Plays a shot. Oh, there it is. There is a gap there. Oh, found it. And now let's jog through for 2. Last over, there were 2, possibly 3 balls that were able to be hit for 4, which he got no runs for.
Gone for it. Just got it away. A full shot. Cleared mid-wicket. They pick up 2.
That one's in the air. It's gone wide of Mark Waugh at first slip, and that'll run all the way to the boundary. Not out of the middle, but 4 just the same.
I think we saw there a very good example of Lara being in a defensive frame of mind. He got the bad ball and he was almost surprised by it. That's what tends to happen. The feet aren't moving quite as quickly because you're not thinking about scoring runs. And because of that, he was off balance.
Well, that one's out of the middle. That's a better shot. That one's right out of the middle of the bat. It's the late cut. This time he won't get 4. A much more confident looking shot.
That 3 brings up the 200 for the West Indies. Just 3 down.
Marlon Samuels this time gets it through as well. And that will go to the boundary as well. So this is turning out to be a very good over for the West Indies. 3 cut shots, 11 runs in 3 balls.
One of the great things about this ground, when it's in good condition, the ball travels very quickly. So if you can find the gaps, and on that occasion, Marlon Samuels hitting the ball into the pitch just next to him.
Just starting to put the foot down at the moment, Lara and Samuels. Bogged down since tea. That one's not off the middle either, but there'll be more runs. Michael Slater gives chase. And we'll just pick it up inside. Some good signs now for the West Indies. Much more aggressive in the last 10 minutes or so, Lara and Samuels.
Quite a few deliveries well wide of off stump, and they've taken the opportunity to get into a stroke playing mood.
3 for 208. West Indies. Stuart McGill continuing. That's a nice shot. Square drive. Just opened the face there, Brian Lara. If you have just get that, that's a good piece of fielding as well. Gone. Mark Waugh taking a very good catch at first slip. Stuart McGill's got his man by tossing it up. Mark Waugh again has taken an excellent catch at first slip.
Well, Brian Lara really has brought about his own downfall the way he's played after tea. He tries to square drive the leg spinner. Mark Waugh's got that just in the end of the fingers. Lara actually hung around and I think may have even asked him if he did catch it. But Lara likes to square drive, and I think that's a mistake against Stuart McGill. He should be trying to hit that through the covers rather than past point. He's found the edge, and McGill has got his third victim. West Indies 4 for 210.
Ramnaresh Sarwan makes his way to the wicket, running at 6 for the West Indies. More reports he's a much better player than what he showed so far. A little bit of pressure now, though. 2 slips in, 2 bat pads. Oh! Stuart McGill's got 3 wickets, including the big one, Brian Lara. Once again, Mark Waugh, the catcher at first slip. Wasn't just me, though. It looked like the top spinner. Lara, as Brian, as Ian Chappell said, trying to open the face, but look at Mark Waugh. Caught that in between 2 fingers. And even after he caught it, didn't worry about putting it in the meat of the hands. Oh, a swing and a miss.
Tell you what, you're not going to see the new ball for a while now, with Lara out of the way. You've got Sarwan, new player who's been struggling on this tour, and if he's going to keep trying to drive balls like that without leaving his crease, then he's going to be in big trouble. Stuart McGill puts a lot of side spin on the ball, which is well suited to this SCG pitch. Well, Brian Lara really doesn't try to drive the leg spinner much in front of the wicket. He loves to hit him square of the wicket. And I think that's brought about his downfall on this occasion. Sharp catch, just grabbed by Mark Waugh.
Well, that's very close indeed. Darrell Hare says yes, that is out. That looked like the one out of the front of the hand from Stuart McGill. It skidded straight on. Ramnaresh Sarwan's feet went nowhere. And Darrell Hare said that is close enough for me.
Well, the West Indies now in danger of just absolutely squandering this good opening partnership, playing back to the skidding top spinner and not really coming far forward at all. Absolutely plumb. So Stuart McGill has 4. Sarwan has another duck to his name. The West Indies have slumped to 5 for 210.
Well, Ridley Jacobs makes his way to the middle. He's at the non-strikers end at the moment. Colin Miller continues from the Randwick end. Sorry, the Paddington end, should I say. A couple of quick wickets. Steve Raw and the Australians. Out the front of the hand, that one from Stuart McGill doesn't turn. Straight on, hits the pad. And that's plumb LBW. Well, that's a nice shot from Marlon Samuels. Just a little bit wide from Miller. A beautiful cover drive. That's the 4 from the over. Stuart McGill's going to try one round the wicket. Marlon Samuels. And Marlon Samuels just checking out now where that rough is outside his leg stump. Moves the sideboard as well. Just looking down there at the rough. Well, didn't worry too much about the rough. Just heaves it over mid-on. And the last ball before Drinks goes for 4. It's nicely played. West Indies 5 for 219.
5 for 219, and the West Indies not quite deep in trouble yet, but they're certainly approaching that position. Ramnaresh Sarwan out for a duck. Samuels is still there on 21, as he has been on many occasions when we've been watching in recent times, and Ridley Jacobs is on 1. Samuels and Jacobs, the rescue mission pair. Might seem like mission impossible sometimes to them. And the bowling figures, McGill has 4 for 73 and McGrath 1 for 43. Another case of pace bowling and over the wrist spin doing the job.
Miller no wicket for 58 off 20. So 5 down for 219. The run rate 2.67. These two have only just got together. Miller will be very keen to get himself a wicket here. He's getting a little bit of spin. He's got a very attacking field. 2 new batsmen at the crease. Oh, and he really was trying to get that one away wide of mid-on. It hit the front edge of the bat and only just beat mid-off. So that was a very good over from Miller. And the score now 5 for 222. So 84 overs have been bowled. Oh, and yes, up she goes. Big appeal from everybody. I think you'll find there might have been some bat in that one. The Australian players cannot believe it. Umpire Coutson giving the benefit of the doubt to the batsman. Very difficult, those bat pads. You've got to be certain. Let's see if we can pick it up.
Well, it certainly didn't hit the bat because the bat was tucked away behind the pad. Might have flipped the glove. But it certainly didn't hit the bat.
Yes, I think it goes up onto the thumb. You can see the movement of the thumb on the left hand there as the ball goes past it. For me, that was the second noise, and so that was definitely out. But again, the noise as the ball just clips the top of the thumb doesn't necessarily have to be. It's not very loud, and it perhaps is that umpire Coutson didn't hear it. Oh, he has a mix-up.
Well, I'm not at all convinced that that hit the glove. One thing I am convinced about, though, is that the match referee might have a good hard look at that with players rushing at the umpire. Now, there the ball hits the pad, no doubt about that. Now, the thumb seems to me to be behind the bat there. So I doubt very much if that is a movement of the thumb with the ball getting anywhere near it. I think it's just a thing that he does. But this is the point I was making about players rushing at the umpire. That is specifically laid down as being beyond the pale.
Yes, this is, you did right about that. So, that's what the Australian players thought, and they certainly did go up, and it would surprise me if the match referee, A.C. Smith, hasn't never talked to one or two of them. I know that if umpire Orchard had been out there, he's one of those umpires that just really does get angry when everyone charges down the other end, especially the wicketkeeper. Into the gap, and that'll be 4. Yes, that was a bad delivery. He hasn't bowled many of them, but that was short and gave the batsman plenty of time to line up a gap.
Not quite sure why Stuart McGill has gone around the wicket to Samuels. He's bowling well at him from over the wicket.
I was just looking at the field and just noticed that Glenn McGrath is quite straight here. And what they're trying to do is to get him to hit it over there, and to close the face of the bat on the ball, and then with that little bit of spin, I think that it'll go straight back down the pitch. There we go, in the air, and oh, once again, well, that's the second time that's happened. That's very lucky. .87 overs bowled. Nagamutu, the leg spinner, brought into the side. He's next in, followed by the 3 fast bowlers. Yes, so just looking at the snickometer here, that's the pad, the thud, and then is there another one? That's the question. It goes through, and there's definitely another noise there, according to our snickometer. Both thuddy looking noises because of the pad and the glove as opposed to the bat.
That's certainly the pad, that is a thud. Then the ball is on its way. Still not convinced.
Outside leg stump, and oh, They caught it. He's gone. Well, 5 wickets to Stuart McGill. And that one was a bit of a bonus. I was starting to look down towards the Bill O'Reilly stand. But somehow it's obviously hit the bat and hit his leg or something, and then just popped up on the onside. Look at how wide it was. It's obviously hit something, perhaps the back of the bat, and just bobbed up to forward short leg. We have to slow that one right down to see what happened there. A very confident umpire there, giving Marlon Samuels out, caught by Langer off the bowling of McGill. It's 6 down for 235. Mahendra Nagamutu, a left-hand batsman. He also is the nephew of Alvin Kalicharan. So there's cricket in his veins. Right, now we've had a bit of a debate about one decision. Let's see if we can find out what this hit, if anything. Now then, was that a case of the glove on the way up? It certainly deflected off a few things. I think it may well have been something other than the glove. But, well, it's all happening out there at the moment. There were certainly 2 noises again. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But a cheer for Stuart McGill. 5 wickets in the bag for him, and he's not finished yet.
Been a very good spell of bowling from McGill. And it's cost him 4. He's kept the ball up to the bat today, much more than was the case in Adelaide. He's had the batsman coming at him today, having to play off the front foot for much of the time. Every so often he pulls one down a bit short. And an LBW shout at the start for a flick of the pad perhaps, and then the stumping. Ridley Jacobs has looked so uncomfortable out there. You wouldn't think he's the man who's been the hero all the way through. He's hardly got anything in the middle of the bat today. Gilchrist has got him.
Yes, he's out of his ground right. Gilchrist realised it straight away. He never got back. Certainly, if he did, it was far too late. Gilchrist has started the celebration there, and up goes the finger there of the square leg umpire. So Ridley Jacobs, in a desperate effort to heave that one away to mid-wicket, missed it, dragged his back foot. Gilchrist was there to do the job. Again off the bowling of McGill. McGill now 6 for 83, and the West Indies 7 for 240. And we've arrived at the lower order here now. The bowlers arriving, and the West Indies, who got off to such a great start, are squandering that advantage. They won the toss, decided to bat first, and well, an opening partnership of 146. Here they are now 7 for 240. Again, a big appeal for Elby. No, he's given him out. He's given him out. Umpire Hare has raised his finger. Long time he took there. Well, this is turning out to be a great day for Stuart McGill. Another one to him. They were certainly up in the air. Very confident appeal for LBW, the keeper and the bowler, and umpire Hare took a while over this one and then raised his finger. So yet another West Indian has succumbed to McGill. Let's see where it pitches. Outside the off stump, spins back in, and well, I suppose the question is, was he playing a shot at that? I think he probably was. I think that probably hit him outside the line. Well, he's been accompanied off the ground by a duck, which makes it 27 in all now for the West Indies in the series. An all-time record. It's 8 for 240.
Colin Stewart is on the hat-trick.
Yes, and well, this could well be a hat-trick. The West Indies tail are not renowned for hanging around. Darren Gough took a hat-trick on this day 2 years ago. McGill was part of it. Wouldn't he like to reverse that situation? Right, the batsman taking his time, just wandering around. They've got 2, 4, 6, 7 Australians all around the bat, if you include the wicketkeeper. Here we go.
and nicely played.
40,880 fans at the Sydney Cricket Ground. A magnificent day's play. 8 for 241. McGill gets charged and hit well down the ground. That's a good shot. Nagamuto using his feet and hitting straight. Well played.
It's a good shot from Nagamuto. The leg spinner will be coming back into him as a left-handed batsman. Less of a risk for him to be using his feet.
Gone again. That's a better shot. Timed that superbly. Hitting over mid-on. It's well played. Been an example there for the top order players to get down and get to the pitch of the ball, or try to. Hit straight through the line. Good shot.
Yes, hitting as straight as possible again. Slightly with the spin, but not looking to hit it through the mid-wicket region. Well timed.
Full toss, and he doesn't put it away. Gets the single. Nagamuto batting well in that over. 8 for 250. Very happy New Year crowd at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Wonderful crowd. Good test match.
Colin Miller will consider himself a bit unlucky in this spell, in this test match so far. This is now his 27th over. They've done a pretty good job though, apart from take wickets. Only 69 runs coming off all those overs.
It's out. He's got one. Caught at that point. Driving in the rough. Nagamuto caught. Noor gets a wicket. 9 for 252.
I don't think anyone would begrudge Colin Miller that wicket. Certainly has bowled a lot better than his figures would suggest. Finally gets one. Nagamuto looking to drive out of that rough just outside the off stump of the left-hander. Not near enough to the pitch of the ball to be in total control. The ball just sliding off the backward point. Michael Slater taking a pretty simple catch there. It's 9 for 252.
Courtney, they're singing. Used to be Lily, Lily. Now it's Courtney, Courtney.
Don't think he'll be doing that much damage with the bat though.
Well, for Colin Miller, he picks up a wicket and has bowled well. Spun the ball away from the left hand as he troubled Jacobs. Put him under all sorts of pressure today. McGill picked him up. That was a well-deserved wicket. The left-hander driving at the ball in the rough, a little bit of turn, an outside edge, and Slater took the catch. Good bowling. Nagamuto had the right idea. He went for it, sliced it away. A simple, straightforward catch. He's gone for 12, and it's 252 for 9.
Could see the dust as that ball landed in the rough area. First wicket for Colin Miller. Certainly deserved that wicket.
Well taken, but no bat. Very well caught. Silly point very close. 96 overs bowled so far. Miller continues. Anthony Walsh gets it away somewhere down the fine leg. The stumps are knocked over. Gilchrist probably not. There's no appeal. What will be the call here? Byes are the call.
Wonder if Colin Miller was trying to slant a Yorker in here with Kurt Walsh. It certainly was full in length. And Gilchrist perhaps going for the stumping down the leg side. Didn't gather.
Well, Gill's trying hard for this 8th wicket. Just can't pitch it in the right spot. So the final ball coming up. 6 o'clock here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's been a super day's play. Well, it stumps on the first day. The West Indies up the winning toss. 9 for 256. A magnificent day for everybody concerned. McGill 7 for 92, Campbell 79, Hines 70 the Stars, but Oh no, I'd suggest it's been Stuart McGill's day. A leg spinner on the first day, taking 7 for 92 off 35 overs, a magnificent effort.
156.
Umpires and players are out in the centre here for the start of the second day's play, Australia and the West Indies in this Ansett series. It's 9 for 256, neither Walsh nor Stewart off the mark at the moment. And nowhere near as big a crowd as yesterday when there were 40,880 present on the opening day. A little bit like down in Melbourne where they had 73,000 the first day, and the crowds were still good on the other days, but nothing approaching the first day. And here today we might get up into the odd figures of 20,000.
One would suspect that this West Indies innings will be wrapped up quite quickly this morning. Courtney Walsh and Colin Stewart tried their very best to stretch it into the second day. Well, one would suspect that they'll be trying to get a few runs on the board now.
Courtney's is mind of the job now. They need to get 20 here, squeeze 20 out, it'll help a lot. I think they've got to do it by hitting out. The roller's been used, the pitch will be quite flat early on. Gone for it, that was the one to go for too. There's a bit of width there, couldn't put bat on ball. Got the arms free, big lusty swing, couldn't make contact. He was looking to go, but didn't bounce.
Spun just a bit, no real bounce there. Found the gap between bat and pad. That was the one to go for though. He could hit that straight or reasonably straight.
That's the over.
It's the over bowled, 9 for 256. Going to be Stuart McGill from the Randwick end. Out of the way, and it's well hit. That's 4. Stewart off the mark with a nice sweep shot.
That was well struck. Tries to do things fairly simple, Colin Stewart. Very uncomplicated batting style.
Bad ball and well played. Nice little fine sweep shot. Pick up 3. Good over for the West Indies. Good controlled shot. It's a bad ball. It was outside the line of leg stump. Is it nicely on the carpet? Yes, that's Colin Miller on screen. I would feel that Courtney Walsh will have a bit of a dip here and remove those close-in fieldsmen. Would bat on ball while the field is up. These are valuable runs. Get another 20 this morning. It all helps. Going for it, and he gets a little edge and it races away. Up the market, that's the way to play. Number 10 or 11, the ball's there. Try and put bat on ball. Something the top order batsman didn't do after tea yesterday. And they paid a big price for that.
That ball flew past leg slip before Steve Waugh even knew the ball was coming in his direction.
It'll be the high 20s today here. Northeasterly breezes just drifting across the ground. It's well bowled. Yeah, maybe greater, but at least he's trying to score some runs, which is outside the one of the leg stump, swinging across the line. Well played, full pitch. The crowd loving it. Good to see it. Some positive thinking.
What Courtney Walsh should be probably saying to himself, Bill, this is one time that I won't be making a duck. Let me make full use of this.
Colin Stewart, common sense, intelligent hitting, and straight through the line down the ground.
Just have a look at this shot from Colin Stewart. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about when you're talking about just doing the basic things and doing it nice and cool. Just keeps his eyes on the ball, gets his foot to the pitch, gets very close to the pitch of the ball, and just plays through the line. Once you get that close to the pitch, you can negate the spin.
Miller continues from the members' end to Walsh. Walsh out for 4. West Indies bowled out for 272. I would suggest that Michael Slater will be a bit nervous here today. He's only averaging 31 so far in the series. He's sprinting to get to the pitch. He's playing on his home ground. It's a very important session for the West Indies as well to use this new ball, not to drop too short, bowl good length. There may be a bit of variable bounce and take any chances that are offered. It's going to be Walsh from the members' end. Hayden needs a score as well. He's averaging 38 in test matches so far. Been run out twice. And Justin Langer at 3s, averaging at 28. So they'll be very keen today to take advantage of this second day pitch. Very good seeing day for the batsman. Mervyn Dillon out injured has been one of the best West Indian bowlers, and Michael Slater on strike. 67 test matches. It's a lot of cricket, an average of 43. Makes a lot of hundreds. Normally plays well here on the Sydney Cricket Ground. Matthew Hayden, just 13 test matches, an average of 26.4. So the West Indians, Michael, definitely need wickets with this new ball.
It's not a very fast pitch. There's not a great deal of bounce here. And this new ball won't last very long. You can see that the surface of the pitch hasn't got a lot of grass on it. So it will bruise the ball and bruise it quite quickly. Very important to keep the ball up, bowl that off-stump line.
Gets runs. Half volley in the wrong line from Walsh. That's nicely played. This outfield is very quick. They could almost run for here. Ball or run. Good start for Slater. Not a good start for Walsh.
That certainly wasn't anywhere near the line that he should be bowling to Michael Slater. And to be honest, I don't think Courtney Walsh has been bowling very well to Slater at all. There again, we see the ball ending up in line with the stumps. That is not where you want to be bowling. Even when the ball has finished doing whatever it's doing from outside off stump, it should still be outside off stump.
Once again, spraying onto the pad. This time it's a better shot. Worked that beautifully. So 8 runs conceded by deliveries that were there to be put away. And Michael Slater will do that.
Standard field being set for Colin Stewart bowling to Matt Hayden. 4 men in the slip cordon, just a slight variation in that there are 2 slips and 2 gullies. Pretty big gap between the second slip and the first of the 2 gullies.
Good start, good positive stroke. Good square leg. Well, a good throw, he would have been close, hits the stumps. That would have been very, very close. It's a dicey call. Not easy to get through here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. A direct hit would have possibly found Slater short of his ground. Slater's put out full shot. That's a bad delivery, but superbly played. Long hop, quickly into position, smashed it through mid-wicket.
That's exactly what it deserved. Long hop was the correct description. Certainly wasn't a bouncer.
Good shot as well. 9 runs off the over. It's a good start by the Australians. An attacking mood at the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's none for 17.
Oh, that stayed down. It really did stay down. There are a few little cracks that are beginning to open up on middle stump. Watch this one. It really does die and plays right over the top of it. There's no doubt that there's going to be some inconsistent bounce here. Oh yes, and he's got him. That's beautifully caught. That's a lovely delivery. Hayden really had to play at that one. It moved away off the pitch a little bit. Well, interesting. He went a long way to his right there, Lara. The wicketkeeper really should have been catching that one, which rather backs up what Ian Healy was saying. Just wonder whether they've got their staggering right there. However, all is well that ends well. A good catch by Lara.
And it's his 100th in Test match cricket. He recovered beautifully. Didn't get distracted by Ridley Jacobs not going for it. Takes the catch. It carried beautifully from Matthew Hayden's outside edge. Courtney Walsh, 493 Test wickets. Australia, 1 for 17.
Langer is the new batsman, the Australian number 3, 30 years of age, averaging 40 in his career. And he'll be very determined here to make some runs. He's down at the non-striker's end, and that 223 was made here this time last year. So Courtney getting a bit of a hand from the crowd here. Very popular he is, and this will make him popular in the West Indies as well. Hit the seam, and probably a little crack there as well, but beautifully taken by Lara. Oh, he's dropped him. That was pretty straightforward, really, although he seemed a little confused with the pace of the ball. It wasn't a full-blooded pull shot. Almost worked it across there. That's Nagamutu. He's into the side here. He's got his dark glasses on, and he really didn't seem to pick this up at all. Into the gap and all the way along the ground to the boundary for 4. And he's been sweating on that one, sweating on one that's just a little over pitched, and it was nicely played.
The difference between this delivery and the last one was the line. A little bit more over pitched, as Tony said, but a lot straighter. Didn't have to get that front foot across as far as he would have last delivery. The key to that shot was the stable base of his feet. Right, so here we go again. Walsh continuing. Edgy shot played away through the gully area. They'll get 2. Will they come back for the 3rd? Yep. Back for the 3rd. Now, so far, just Hayden out. Caught in the slip of the bowling of Walsh, who's bowling at the moment. We mentioned that the ball just hit the crack and moved away a little bit. We've blown that up to see if we can pick up exactly where it hits here. There it goes. Seam tumbling over there. There's the crack. Right on it.
Michael is the sort of guy who goes on the shot. If he hits a good shot, straight away he's thinking yes, and sometimes he just comes out with it. That's a real good shot that time, though. Didn't try to hit it too hard, and that's when Michael Slater plays at his best. Just timed that through the offside, and that's boundary number 4. Australia 1 for 34.
Wickets and nearly 260 runs yesterday. That's a good day's cricket, and this one has started well, with Michael Slater in particular scoring runs quickly.
The other thing, Ian, too, we saw 98 overs bowled yesterday from the Australians, which was excellent. Good value for money for the crowd. Today we've seen some lusty hitting from Stewart and Walsh. A short little cameo partnership this morning. Now Michael Slater starting as he often does, with all guns blazing, 25 off 31 balls faced.
Chance at first slip now has it carried to Brian Lara. He says it has. Justin Langer's not convinced. And umpire Coutson is going across to umpire Hare. Now Lara seems to be suggesting that he caught it. Justin Langer is certainly hanging around, and it looks as though they're going to call for a replay. But Lara appeared convinced that he'd caught it.
Well, generally at first you know, particularly when they get carried like that, whether you jam your fingers or not. Brian Lara, they're pointing towards his ring finger on his right hand, suggesting maybe this one's jammed my finger, and therefore I've got the hands underneath the ball.
You get the idea there of how much drop there is from the pitch here at the SCG to first slip. It's one of the advantages for a first slip fieldsman here in Sydney. You can field a little deeper because of the extra carry, but unfortunately it creates a problem when you're calling for the replay. Now this is going to be a problem for the fielding side. Once the umpires have asked for the videotape replay, you see that's where the camber of the ground, you can't see it. But the days of trusting the fielders, that seems to have gone. Langer wasn't trusting the fact that Lara said that he caught it. And he's been given not out.
Well, I think that's the only decision the umpire could have given in that situation. That replay there, because of that camber off the wicket, did not really show the batsman was out. So I don't think the third umpire had any choice but to give that not out.
As far as I was concerned, he came up there thinking that he'd caught it. But they've got to somehow or other forget that and try and claim his wicket as quickly as possible so that they can put it out of their mind. This one he gets off the middle of the bat. And it costs Colin Stewart 4 runs. Australia 1 for 42. Justin Langer on 14, Michael Slater 31. We're going to have a change now. Mahendra Nagamutu. So the rather defensive tactics of Colin Stewart haven't really worked. 6 overs for 20. He bowled a lot of deliveries well wide of Justin Langer's off stump. Langer likes to drive square of the wicket. West Indies have left a big gap there for him. Perhaps trying to encourage him to drive against the spin a little.
I think if Nagamutu is not a big turn of the ball, Jimmy Adams might need one more man on that offside. Just going to push the ball across Justin Langer. Only 3 men in the covers saving 1. Justin Langer will do a lot of this.
Over pitching again. And Justin Langer has punished him.
Just got to the fence on that occasion. And very fortunate for the Australians it did, because neither Langer or Slater were running too much as soon as that ball was hit. Both batsmen thought it was going to be a boundary right from the word go. Ambled through the first one.
Nixon McLean. This time it's a top edge, and Ridley Jacobs is the one going across to take it. Not in any less neat fashion than we've seen from him before, but he's across there. He's had a very, very good series, and that ball jumped a bit.
Not for the first time we are seeing Justin Langer getting out with this particular shot. Bottom edge on one occasion, this time the top edge. Nixon McLean doing the job. That's the line. It's 2 for 55.
That was a very important wicket for West Indies. 25 minutes to go to lunch. Mark Waugh is the man coming to the crease. And the bowlers have got through on a flat pitch. McLean has taken the second wicket. First one to Courtney Walsh. Slater is 32. Now, West Indies just need to get one more before lunch, And they are right in business.
Back with 3 slips on the gully again now, Jimmy Adams.
Good over from Nixon McLean. 1 for 1 for him. Walsh has 1 for 28. And this is the wicket.
Very good delivery from Nixon McLean. Perhaps a fraction short, but different batsmen, you can afford to just vary your length just a bit. Not necessarily the line. I think that line is perfect for all the batsmen, whether they be left-handers or right-handers, just outside the off stump.
That's a fine shot. We haven't really seen if Nagamutu's turning the ball. To his credit, he's kept the ball up to the bat, but has produced 3 drives. A couple for Langer in the last over, and that one from Michael Slater. He hasn't quite got that off the middle of the bat, but it's going to run away from the fielder as it gets closer to the fence. Very difficult to pull in a ball going down to the western side of this ground.
Not the wisest thing in the world to do. Gabriel Hines, who was at bat paddy, is now at mid-off.
It's a neat stroke. He hasn't quite got it off the middle enough to have it go to the boundary, but they'll run an easy 3. Now the problem with that field setting is that you don't want to stop the bowler keeping the ball up to the bat. You don't want to have him bowling short on this pitch, but you do need to have your field set so he's not penalised for keeping the ball up. Well, that's not particularly bright if you've got a man at rather deepish mid-on, one at mid-wicket and one at deep backward square. That, in theory anyway, means that your captain wants you to bowl on the offside, not where this one was.
Especially if you're not turning the ball a great deal, and Nagamutu doesn't spin the ball a lot.
Well, that should have been stopped. Marlon Samuels then out at mid-off, going away to his left. He's over the top of it, I reckon.
Nagamutu shaking his head. Perhaps he's thinking that he shouldn't be driven through the offside so regularly.
That's his quicker delivery. He bowls a straightforward seamer, I suppose you could call it, but there's not much point in bowling it as short as that to a powerful player. 2 for 82. Slater's 46, Mark Waugh 13. Slater has strike. Mark Waugh's gone on to 13. That's going to race away. Half century for Michael Slater. He's starting to look in slightly ominous form. He's not doing anything too flamboyant today. I reckon he's had a look at it and thought it might be fill my boots time.
Aggressive as usual, Michael Slater, but that certainly was an excellent shot to bring up that half century. Just 56 deliveries. That's another very good shot. Just straying too close to the stumps there again, Nixon McLean, and paying the price.
Very strong offside field for the left arm orthodox spinner.
Well, he's got that offside field very stacked. Have a look at them, all for slightly mishit drives. So you can see the short extra cover. There's a sort of an outer ring, and then these two here.
Oh, on the half volley. He went the wrong way, actually. It was a pretty good save in the end, but it was in the air. Catch it was a cry.
So I'm not too sure they didn't drop it. Let's see if it carried. It certainly was in the air. No, well, he certainly was going the wrong way. May well have been able to make something of that. There's a couple of very short balls there, and Slater trying to smash them away.
Went right instead of going left. Well, that's rubbish. It's put away. Long hop, short and wide, and Mark Waugh cuts beautifully. Brings up the 100 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Yes, don't bowl him out there to Mark Waugh. He just quietly stands up, picks his spot beautifully there, hits it into the ground as well, and there's a little bit of a curve away, which just takes it away from the fieldsman and down to the fence.
Not for the full shot. Too short and too straight. Beautifully played by Michael Slater. Paul bowling, he's bowled very well. 9 boundaries for Slater, and drops in short, and he's punished. He's had the right line game. The field is very strong on the offside. This is Paul bowling on this pitch today. Plenty of time to get into position and pull it away. Crashes into the fence.
Yes, it's quite full, that particular one, and it's not quite as bad as it is down the other end. The other end is where they've encroached upon the pitch a fair bit. You can see there that one pitching more like the one a little nearer to the bowler. Oh, this is going to be... Oh, he's got him. That's dreadful. That's dreadful. Mark Waugh wanted one. It wasn't really his call. Slater started to come and then changed his mind. Well, another run out. Is this another Slater victim? He'll be hoping not, but I think it probably was.
Well, that was due to the fact that the previous over was a maiden. Jim Adams has contained Mark Waugh. He cuts late, cuts wide of the fieldsman on his left. And Slater came and then he stopped. Whether he called no, I'm not sure, but he certainly made some ground towards the striker's end, and that is a big wicket. That could turn this innings right around. The informed Mark Waugh is gone. He's run out for 22, and all of a sudden, that's 3 for 109 at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Steve Waugh, magnificent average, wonderful career, 132 test matches. He's made 100 at the Sydney Cricket Ground. He's there because his brother's been run out. I'll have a look at that again. It appeared to me as if Mark Waugh called, Slater came and then stopped. It was all over Red Rover.
And it's placed pretty well, actually. I think they probably would have got through for a single if they got going and kept going.
Now the pressure's on Slater to remain calm here. Oh, that's a nice way to keep your composure. It's a poor delivery, but it's beautifully played. Half volley on leg stump. 10 boundaries for Michael Slater.
That's a Slater to 63 now.
No ball, 4 more. Oh, you get a wicket, really a bonus, and you bowl 2 half volleys. And Slater's away again. No ball, wide half volley. This is a poor over.
Well, that one's not off the middle, but it'll go for 4. Thick outside edge. 4. Takes Michael Slater past Bob Simpson, the 12th highest run scorer in Australian cricket history. Not convincing, but 4 all the same. Well, that one's also found the gap. This one probably won't go all the way. It's gone a bit squarer. just get the 3 on this occasion. So 2 outside edges, 7 runs.
The difference with this one was he did go a little harder. The bat got in front of himself a little more, the bottom hand a little bit more tense.
Oh, good edge, short of second slip. Well, no luck so far this over for Courtney Walsh. That's the 3rd outside edge, and still no result. That's a good over that for Courtney Walsh, from 7 from it though, unfortunately. 3 for 130. Three for 134. Australia in play to 272 all out this morning, the West Indies. Michael Slater doing the bulk of the scoring, as he often does early on. Discussion going on at the moment between bowler and captain, trying to get this field exactly right for Michael Slater, to try and stop him from scoring and apply some pressure. Michael Slater goes down the ground and does it well.
Michael Slater's highest score of the series. We talk about the good vantage points around the ground. These are the shots they come to see. Just a rolling leg spinner, not going to land in any rough, confident to get out of his crease, hit through the line with good power. 4.
No second slip, and there's the opportunity wasted.
Well, back in your living rooms, you might be saying, gosh, I feel sorry for Jimmy Adams and the West Indies. You're quite entitled to, but that is an opportunity lost. One slip and one very wide gully, almost backward point, and Slater has hustled into the stroke, and it would have gone straight down second slip stroke.
Michael Slater needs just 6 for a century. Once again, it's a deep mid-off and an easy single. I must say that the money spent, the work done on the SCG has been very worthwhile. It looks terrific. Short and very wide.
It's just a fingertip job out at point. Steve was on 7. I just sense that it might be about to start playing a few strokes. Oh, a slower one.
Courtney Walsh is very disappointed that the appeal has been turned down. As I mentioned, he's got to get the batsman on the back foot to have a real chance with the LBW. The bat was very close to the pad, Michael Slater, just a boundary away from that century. He's slowed down a little of late, although he hasn't had a lot of strike in the last few overs. 13 boundaries in his 96. And he's tried to go over cover and he's holed out. So make that 9 90s now for Michael Slater, and the dreaded 90s have got him once again.
Well, if I hadn't seen it happen on a number of occasions before, I'd say I don't believe that. I want to hit a 4 to bring up 100. And there it is, another dismissal in the 90s. Nagamudu has his first wicket. Catch taken by Marlon Samuels. 96 for Michael Slater. All sorts of things coursing through his mind at the moment, as they were as that ball left Nagamudu's hand. It's 4 for 157.
Ricky Ponting is the new batsman, with a very good test average of 46. Age 26, Ricky Ponting.
Well, the man in your picture there, he was the one who floored the catch of Michael Slater. Michael Slater went on to get 96 runs.
He's beaten the fieldsman there as well.
Mahendra Nagamoto, first spell was very expensive, has come down to just about 4 runs per over now, and he has a wicket.
Oh, that's beautifully played. It's out there, that odd loose ball. These two will very definitely punish it, and certainly Steve Waugh, who's a magnificent cutter.
Found the gap between the man at point and backward point. There is a man out on the boundary. That was a long way from him. That was beautifully placed. Man on the boundary is well in front of square.
Oh, and may have been a little bit of glove in that one. Perhaps it was thigh pad. It might even have been both. But anyhow, back for the third again. And the umpire contemplating what actually happened and what's he going to do. I think he's giving runs. Yep. Michael Slater once again out in the 90s. He was a little lucky to be dropped at mid-wicket, and I think it's fair to say that he ran Mark Waugh out. He wouldn't have been very happy about that. And then just when he looked like getting his 100, oh, he's hit that one. He's been actually thinking about that. He's been practicing that shot a little bit. And on that occasion, he's got it away. That's that shot he plays a lot these days. Takes it from around about, well, sometimes middle stump, sometimes outside off stump. Flays it away on the onside. Australia well placed here. The deficit now 94 in the first innings. Oh, and he loves that shot. Anything short, Ricky Ponting. Really plays it absolutely beautifully. That was very well played.
Coming left arm over, perhaps a ball into the rough outside the right-hander's leg stump.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. This, that is a beautiful shot. Lovely timing there. He never tried to force it.
Well, that's certainly not the way to start a containing over. Good shot. Very good shot. Pitched on the normal surface and full in length. Just drove through the line of the ball, Ricky Ponting.
Steve Waugh on strike. One slip and a floating slip. It's a bad delivery and he just works him away. They'll get two because it's Walsh. One of the problems with the second string West Indian bowlers, not Mervyn Dillon, but certainly McLean and Stewart, too many bad balls. One or two good balls on line and one straight and down the leg side or too short. It's 4 for 191.
55 overs bowled by the West Indies. Jimmy Adams coming back into the attack. 8 overs, none for 16.
That's where he's going to hit him. Where a good batsman should hit a left arm orthodox spinner that doesn't turn much. Pitching on middle leg. Good use of the feet. Beautifully played on drive.
I think the crowd fielded that for Nixon McLean. We'll have a look to see if it did hit the fence, but Ricky Ponting, no problems here. Just too full by Jimmy Adams. Let it come onto the bat, eased it through the gap. Nixon McLean did the rest. Just ran out of arms. One was supporting himself and the other trying to stretch.
Beats me off. That could go all the way because it's Walsh chasing. 3 boundaries for Stephen Waugh. Doesn't do enough for the ball, Jim Evans, at this level. You've got to either find the rough, you just cannot hit the good pitch and not turn. Brings up the 204.
Well, this looks like a net session for Steve Waugh. Exactly what Ricky Ponting did last over. Gets the front foot down, and all the energy goes into that bat speed. Head still and over the ball. Makes it look Too easy for my liking. Wish I could have done that.
It's Walsh. Ponting's going to take him on. Yes, he is. And that's good cricket. Knew the fieldsman hasn't got a good arm. Turned 1 into 2.
Pushed himself right to the limit there to get 2 there. Straight away. Courtney Walsh knew it was on too, and he was putting in everything he had, but just couldn't get it down over the stumps with that bowling action.
Wide, he gets 4. With a leg glance. Stewart is pushing it down the leg side, and Ponting loves that stroke. Leans across, helps it on its way. Good batting, poor bowling.
Hendra Nagamutu comes on for spell number 3 for the day. 4 overs, none for 29 in his first spell. Came back with the wicket of Michael Slater. And that's gone a long way. In fact, it's gone all the way. It's a big 6 from Steve Waugh. Boundaries here at the SCG, certainly not what you call small. That's gone a long way back as well. That's a big hit.
It's an indication that there's not much turn happening for Nagamutu. The fact that Steve Waugh is prepared to hit right across the line, and he's hit it right out of the middle of the bat.
Watson McLean come back on. 9 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 35 he has so far. Once again, it's probably a situation that he's not used to bowling in either. And a wicket with not a lot of encouragement for him. Really dry, dusty wicket. Bit of turn there. Nixon McLean's now asked to get a wicket. That'll be his 50. Nixon McLean's just straight onto Steve Waugh's pads. They'll come back for 3. That's test match number 6, or test match 50 number 6 here at the SCG for Steve Waugh.
Well, they've been giving him a good reception every time he walked onto the field, every time he's led the team onto the field. And they've been looking for another reason to applaud Steve Waugh, and he's obliged.
Australia creeping up towards that total. 272 to take a first innings lead. 4 for 233 at the moment. Doing it nice and comfortably. Not under really any pressure out there at the moment. Nagamutu bowling around the wicket, trying to bottle up an end. I take it that Nixon McLean's job is to try and take a wicket on this Randwick end of the ground. Oh, it's just short of Brian Lara at first slip, and he'll go all the way for 4. And that's the problem when you split your slips up. You finally get an edge, 4 safely, and it goes for 4. Well, that's a misfield. Just going right through the man at point. And we'll come back for 3.
Gerwin Campbell, the man at point, and really that absolutely no excuse on this revamped SCG surface. The turf is excellent.
That's a nice shot, Nicky Ponting. On drive, may not go all the way. It's beautifully timed. Stewart will just get it inside the boundary. It's always a good sign for any batsman when you're playing the on drive.
Just a gentle little push, really, from Ricky Ponting.
And that's true as well. Well, that's 2 misfields in this over. Steve Waugh will pick up a second bonus 3. Then runs off that over. Australia 4 for 248.
Nagamudu has 1 for 70 from 18 overs. He's bowling at the moment from the Southern or Randwick end. This is Nixon McLean on at North Paddington end. Nagamudu deserves full credit for Slater's dismissal. The West Indians will have talked about Michael Slater and the fact that occasionally he has a bit of a rush of blood. He played in fine style today, I thought. Didn't do anything at all silly. Got to 96. And then Nagamudu had him caught by Samuels. Now Nagamudu's playing in his first test against Australia. He played against England last test in 2000. And the young fella playing first time against players like Slater, who's got to 96. It's to his credit that he bowled the ball slightly slower, outside off stump, drew the batsman down the pitch and dismissed him.
Nixon McLean continuing. Oh, lovely cover drive. The Seagulls scatter as that one races away down towards the Bill O'Reilly stand. Into the boundary it goes. Classical cover drive.
As good as you'll see. Ricky Ponting got his foot not absolutely across to the ball because it was swinging away from him a little, but he just angled the bat and got it away in front of point, just about through cover point.
Less inclined to want to hit it away on the onside. Well, that single brings up the 100 partnership. Well, that's also a very good shot through the offside field, and it's once again Stephen Waugh who just keeps peppering that boundary.
That was a plaster ball, and there was nothing wrong with the ball. It was just giving Steve Waugh a little room. He made it a little bit more for himself, but he is so strong there.
Oh, that's close. Must have been just outside the line of off stump. Either that or it did too much and it was slipping down the leg side. Well, he seemed to be playing from the crease.
Time and again we find from that very wide angle on the bowling crease, Courtney has difficulty in getting LBWs. Ball is going on such an angle that it's going to miss leg stump there.
Walsh 1 for 58. Nagamudu 1 for 77. McLean 1 for 58. Squeezes that out. I'll get 2. Four for 272. 6 wickets in hand. Scores are level with 6 wickets in hand. Disappointing performance really by the West Indies when you consider yesterday the halfway stage they were none for 147. Quick turnaround by a very good cricket team. Samuels, beautiful shot, poor delivery, no turn, no bounce, and he plays that square cut or square drive as well as any player in the world. Stephen Waugh gets back, waits for the ball and places it superbly.
Just asking to be hit, really. Short, wide of off stump, not spinning back either.
Silly point comes in, there's a slip. Drives straight, Walsh won't get it. Superb placement. Good use of the feet. Something the West Indies haven't been doing to the spinners. Not spinning the ball, Jimmy Adams. And Steve Waugh punches it straight down the ground.
That's a big difference. Not a great deal of turn for the West Indian spinners.
Australia in front. The end of the second day's play. No ball called. Walsh at mid-on. Picks it up and they run a single. It's pretty ordinary bowling, isn't it? Well over bowling left arm orthodox spin. That's the final ball of the day's play. Australia in a commanding position. Ponting not out 51, Stephen Moore not out 82. 4 for 284. The Australians well placed. The Australian skipper heading towards his 24th Test century. Conditions are ideal. Another good day for what should be some wonderful attacking cricket by the Australians. The West Indians will need to take the new ball one fields and get early wickets. Steve Waugh, 82 not out. A well-paced innings. He was very patient yesterday in the first session and pushed on in the final session. Got great support from Ricky Ponting, who was in very good touch from the moment he came to the crease. A partnership for 127, and the West Indies need a big effort here, Ian Chappell.
Yes, they certainly do, Bill. Hello to all of our viewers. Well, the West Indies have taken the new ball immediately, and they really need to do some damage with it. Colin Stewart first up. Stewart coming from that Randwick end, but it's desperation time for the West Indies. They've shown in some previous Test matches that they can compete for short periods of time. Yesterday they weren't bad for the first two sessions, but then it just drifted away from them in that final session with Ricky Ponting and Steve Waugh both looking set for big scores. So it's crunch time for the West Indies, and they need to show some pride in this session here.
Surprised already, there's just 2 slips in, no gully with the new ball when you're starting fresh in the morning, and you desperately need at least 2 wickets with this new ball. You must be more positive with your field placings. Stewart starts off with the bouncer, and I think Jimmy Adams is still on the back foot. Stephen Waugh's on 82. He's well aware he's close to his 24th Test century. He'll be very keen to get a solid start. You must go for the jugular straight away with the second new ball. The field doesn't indicate that to me. Extra slip in now. 3 slips. That's 4. Hit that off the back foot. Wasn't a bad delivery. A very good shot, maybe just a fraction short. That's a reply from the Australian skipper.
That's the way Steve Waugh plays. He's beaten by a delivery. He likes to let the bowler know that it hasn't affected him mentally. Plus, that's one of his favourite shots. Off the back foot, the ball just short of a length. Doesn't miss much that's loose, Steve Waugh. He's always, throughout his career, give him something slightly loose, he'll pick it off for a boundary.
That's fine, just a single. And the problem, of course, for West Indies is that Australia's most attacking batsman comes in at number 7. He hasn't played a long innings this summer. Gilchrist hasn't really been needed to do so. If he comes in while the ball's still new, he can do a lot of damage. He turns the game in a session. Exciting cricketer. That's well bowled. It's given in. Yeah, Stewart gets Ponting. Ponting almost walks, I think. Got him in front with a foolish delivery. That's a big wicket for the West Indies. Well bowled, Colin Stewart. Good length. Maybe just ducked in a fraction as well.
Just every now and again, Ricky Ponting gets that front foot a long way across, and I think that's what happened on this occasion. When he gets it a long way across, then the bat's got to try and come around the front pad. Not an easy thing to do, and he was right in line on that occasion. Umpire Hare, no hesitation at all. Good breakthrough there by Colin Stewart, who does tend to pitch the ball up a little more. It's 5 for 289.
Adam Gilchrist, exciting cricketer. Not only averages 52, but strikes in the mid-70s at Test level. Never forget that score at the Bellerive Oval, along with Justin Langer, one of the best partnerships we've ever seen on Wide World of Sports. Under pressure, they played superbly. Gilchrist today got a good opportunity, I think, with the ball coming onto the bat. He's a type of player that likes to drive and cut and hook. For him, there's 2 slips in the gully, a point cover, and a third man in a catching position inside the fence about 8 metres. Stewart, 1 for 43. umpire dropped him. Oh dear, it was Jimmy Adams, and really that was a straightforward catch. If there is such a thing at this level, disappointment for Stewart and the captain. What a let-off.
Well, that's the sort of tour it's been for Jimmy Adams. It was the perfect delivery to start with for Adam Gilchrist. Now, it did appear as though Jimmy Adams was a little late going for it. Perhaps didn't pick it up out of the crowd. But that's 2 chances they've dropped now. Michael Slater early on, Adam Gilchrist early on with first ball. And I couldn't think of 2 worse players to drop early in their innings.
Colin Stewart again from the Randwick end to Adam Gilchrist. Can they pick him up? They let him off the hook once. That's what happens when you drop a good player who plays shots. That's a glorious square drive through the cover region. Overcast morning, fine and good conditions throughout this test match. Not too hot for the players. And surprisingly, Stewart's going around the wicket to Gilchrist. I can't understand that at all. He's had him dropped, he's troubled him. Changes the line.
Well, it's interesting that Brian Lara went down and had quite a chat to Colin Stewart. He's now decided to come around the wicket, which does seem very strange. Jimmy Adams door-stopped Brian Lara on the way past the gully and looked as though he might have said, well, what's going on? And he hasn't disagreed, and he's changed the field around.
It's a short cover. That's what that fieldsman's there for. Maybe the wafted off drive. Gilchrist does hit the ball in the air because he's such an adventurous player. But when you've had a guy dropped, lacking a little bit of confidence over the wicket, why would you go around and take away the angle? Maybe they've got a plan that we don't know about. That was a pretty good start by Gilchrist hitting through the line. And this, what happens, it backs him away just the same. So comes up to 300. And Jimmy Adams is going to have a word to Colin Stewart. I think so, he should.
Mind you, Colin Stewart is entitled to say to the captain, well, we wouldn't have this problem if you'd caught it. But, it is making it very difficult for the bowler. He's got to bowl outside off stump, and if it's just slightly short, it's going to be punished. Very little margin for error for Colin Stewart at the moment.
That's always going to happen. Such a good player, Gilchrist. Pick up 3. In fact, they're happy with 2. Surprise, it was a long throw.
Nixon McLean has been given the ball now. His figures 14 overs, 1 for 58 so far. Cut again, firmly away, and that'll be 4 as well. Yes, that's his 3rd boundary, and there's no way in the world that Adam Gilchrist is going to allow a short delivery outside off stump to go through to the keeper.
Well, interestingly enough, Tony, I was speaking to a few people off air about Adam Gilchrist and his batting and where the field should be, as I said in Melbourne. For Adam Gilchrist, you have got to have a gully, you have got to have a man at backward point. He hits the ball in the air in those positions every time he bats.
2 straight, nicely played away. There's only one man in front of square in that area. Gilchrist will pick up 3. So he'll retain the strike. It's 5 for 312. Oh, he's had a go at that one. What a good shot that is. Beautifully played. Short delivery. Doesn't he get into a wonderful position? And the timing of the shot. Bat coming into play at exactly the right time. In front of square. Down to, well, deep mid-wicket for 4.
Well, that's beautifully steered away backward, right off the middle of the bat again. Picked up on the boundary. About this West Indian team and the problems they're having. One of them obviously to do with spin, and there has been a suggestion just lately, Michael, that as a result of well, part of your era, I suppose, the dominance of fast bowling has resulted in a lack of attention being paid to an aspect of the game. Beats it off, more runs. That's running away down towards the boundary. Is such a good timer. I think he'll get there. Yes, it does. Boy, the crowd enjoying this. Adam Gilchrist is having a ball.
Taking full advantage of his chance, Adam Gilchrist, and why not? It's a good shot, just slightly overpitched. Sarwan perhaps thinking at this stage about diving. Not too sure why he didn't. That ball perhaps passed about a foot away from his foot. Have a look at this. Now, why did that get past?
Another great shot, beautifully played through backward point into the fence. It goes again. Well, they haven't got an answer this morning to Adam Gilchrist. That was not that wide, not that short, but he managed to get it away right into the gap. Into the gap again. Running away down towards the boundary. Will it get there? This does take him into the 90s, though. Yes, into the fence it goes. Big roar goes up here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. They are willing Steve Waugh on. This is his 132nd Test match. 80 Test matches more than Bradman, but he's still trying to catch Bradman's record in terms of hundreds in Test match cricket. Bradman made 29 centuries. Oh, and it's beaten the fieldsman. Yes, they're not having, they're not getting too much support, the bowlers, this morning, I'm afraid.
That is one aspect of West Indies cricket that certainly has gone downhill quite a lot. West Indians are always known to be very good fielders, brilliant fielders. This tour, well, it has been a bit lacking.
35 runs off 37 balls, Adam Gilchrist. And that's 4 more of them. And that's gone very quickly to the point boundary. That's hit the fence just as the man at points turned around and looked where it was.
The spectator hardly had time to get over that fence with his hand and pick that up. Colin Stewart must adjust quickly. Too often, short and wide. All the bowlers today to Adam Gilchrist. Jimmy Adams, as Michael Holding has said, now discussing with the bowler, with the senior players, Campbell and Courtney Walsh, what can we do on the offside here?
Colin Stewart will probably turn to him and say, well, Skip, if you'd caught him first ball, there wouldn't be a drama.
Well, don't captains react well to that? Don't try that at home, viewers, because I tried that a couple of times to the man sitting on my left, and whew, it was no conversation for the rest of the day.
Yes, well, here is the drop catch. Jimmy Adams just seemed to go at it the wrong way. I'd like to see him turn his hands the other way on that occasion. Down it went, first ball. The line was right on that occasion. It was a bit full. And for the first time, Adam Gilchrist didn't quite get it out of the middle. They've got enough to bring up the 50 partnership, though, of which Adam Gilchrist has 41 of them.
There was one stage I was thinking he might beat Steve Waugh to 100. Stephen had gone from 87 to 88. Gilchrist was on 35.
That's beautifully timed. It really is a classic shot. just on the length of the ball there, Adam Gilchrist. Just a fraction short. Worked it through mid-wicket. 9 runs from that over. Australia 5 for 343. Five for 345 Australia. Stephen Waugh, the captain, on strike. 97 not out. Michael Slater actually equals Stephen Waugh yesterday with the highest number of 90s by a Test match player. Michael Slater's got 9 90s all dismissed, whereas Steve Waugh has 2 not out 90s. 7 times dismissed in the 90s. It's for a single. It'll be a chance. And it's very well done from Colin Stewart. Won't get the run out. That was a good piece of fielding.
I'll go one step further. A great piece of calling. Good anticipation of the single. Good call. Good reaction from Gilchrist, and then good fielding by Stewart. Fantastic cricket. Took the pace off it. Back foot. Quick call. Quick response. Good fielding.
Courtney Walsh, unfortunately for the West Indies, looks to be making his way off the ground. An ankle problem he's had all summer. He's been playing up on him. It's not good news for the West Indies.
Don't worry too much about him. He'll be back. The Australian batsmen will know it. In this match, in this innings, may not be off too long. Looked to me like he was having trouble with the strapping that was put on that ankle first ball today. He wanted to keep walking on it to try and get the feeling back, because that strapping would be tight if that ankle is deteriorating. He may just readjust that and be back.
No ball called. And also 2 runs, so that'll be 3 to the score. Once again, too short and too wide to Gilchrist. If Colin Stewart's going to bowl that line, he's going to need 2 men out. One at deep point, one at deep third man. Yeah, I'm not against Colin Stewart maybe going around the wicket. There's those 2 men we've been talking about, both there to save the boundary. It'd be worthwhile maybe Colin Stewart trying around the wicket just to take away the cut shot, take away those shots through that area by bowling in towards the left-hander. Might be a good time for a change of tactics. Adam Gilchrist, 47 runs off 49 balls.
Well, it's a cut-a-thon.
What will Steve Waugh do here? I'm backing the single somewhere. He'll push and run. And there it is. Crowd are on their feet here at the SCG. Test match 100, number 24, Stephen Waugh, the Australian captain. The second one here against the West Indies. Second one here at the SCG alone. 12 Test match 100s in Australia, and the second in this series. It's actually the 6th time that Steve Waugh has made consecutive Test match 100s. Once again, it comes at a very good time. He equals Greg Chappell's record with 24 Test match 100s, and he border on 27 and Bradman on 29 to go. And that would have been Adam Gilchrist 50 for sure, had the stumps not been at the other end.
Well, Steve Waugh was stranded 99 not out when Mark Waugh was running for Craig McDermott. If Nixon McLean had got a finger on this, he was gone, run out by Adam Gilchrist. Canning into those bowler stumps. But Steve Waugh, 24 Test 100s.
Marlon Samuels, change of pace, and probably a good time for a change of pace. Colin Stewart bowled well this morning from the Randwick end of the ground. Got a bit of tap from this end. And now Marlon Samuels is on to try and slow things down. Hopefully get some turn with this newer, still reasonably hard ball. It's nicely played. Just a single. It's another 50. Adam Gilchrist, very well struck. Only 56 balls for that 50. Dropped first ball. Reasonably comfortable catch at gully, but since then he has dominated.
Nagamutu, and he's on the southern ram again, bowling into quite a nice breeze here again today. More humid than it has been on the first 2 days, but that nor'easter is very pleasant for the leg spinner who comes from the southern or Randwick end. There's a man out at deep point. Let me take the single there. Fielding has been slipshod this morning. Catch put down by Jimmy Adams, some of the ground fielding. Single to Gilchrist. That the West Indians have been fumbling and shumbling and haven't been able to get it right.
And he's got him. Steve Waugh attempting to kick that one away from way outside leg stump. And he got a little bit sloppy there. It's clipped the pad and gone onto the stumps. So the ploy of coming around the wicket has worked.
Well, generally it's used as a defensive ploy. In this particular case, it's taken a wicket a long way out. Well, I've seen batsmen play Shane Warne like that and be knocked over. Nagamutu has a second wicket, and that will be a great relief for the West Indians. Standing ovation for Steve Waugh. New batsman is Jason Gillespie, sometimes seen in the night watchman role. Not today, he's coming in his normal position. Might have been bat and pad. Looks like it. No signal from the umpire. 6 for 365. It's been another very good session of play here. The first on the third morning. Two very good days. Crowds of just on 41,000, 32,000. Smaller crowd today, but cricket's been enthralling. The Australians went out there with Ponting and Steve Waugh. They've lost the 2 wickets now. Both those players are out. And Gilchrist has not quite the tail in with him, but a lower order. That was a brilliant shot. I saw it go off the bat. I could hardly believe how fast and far it was going, because it wasn't by any means a big hit. It was beautifully timed. Just a little jab down, straight down the ground, and whack. We'll bring Gillespie onto strike. The Australians start off on 284 this morning, and Colin Stewart picked up Ricky Ponting's wicket. Good delivery, beat him for pace, and Ponting playing across the ball. Out for 51. Steve Waugh bowled by Nagamutu via the pad, 103.
You know that leg spinners are always thinking about they've got a bowl to stay on so that they can get a few overs. And I think that might have been happening a little bit with Nagamutu. He might be just relaxing a little now.
He's never going to be as big a spinner as, say, McGill or Shane Warne, but I reckon he does have a future in West Indian cricket. He can bat, and he's a very good fielder. Shouts and caught. He's picked up a third. So Nagamutu on the dot of lunch has got the wicket of Jason Gillespie. It looked to me as though it was probably a top spinner. So he's used plenty of variety in this last over. A slower ball and a wrong 'un. And And that also was the wrong. An inside edge onto the pad. That's very well bowled. And 3 for Nagamutu.
Yep, I think he's definitely growing in confidence. A good wrong-un, just a little bit of bounce and clipping the glove there of Jason Gillespie. The bat pad fieldsman was in absolutely no doubt at all. Waylon Hines, he just tossed it in the air, and umpire Hare was very quick to react. So good finish to the session for Nagamutu, getting the wicket of Steve Waugh and then Jason Gillespie. And 7 for 374.
And this is a situation, Tony, where Adam Gilchrist becomes so crucial, so impactful.
So this will be interesting now to see whether one or two of these tail enders here can hang in with Gilchrist. They've made a habit of it so far this year. Marlon Samuels has the ball. It'll be interesting to see how Gilchrist plays now. I think he's just got to keep playing his normal game and hope that certainly Miller hangs around for a while. Oh, that's a pretty positive start. Ball pitching quite close to the rough out there, and he's blazed it away into the offside.
And so he's going to go hard. 64 runs. 65 runs from 90 deliveries now. He was about 50 from 50, so he's slowed down by his standards in the last period of his innings, so I can see him picking that up again. As long as the tail can stay with him, there's no stopping what he might peel off. Colin Miller did well in Melbourne the last test match as a pinch hitter, 29 runs, but it's a shame he's got the helmet on, because there'd be a lot of mirth around the bat there. The short close-in fieldsman would be joking quite madly.
This knows the call. Does that stuff run when you get sweaty?
You're asking the wrong person here, mate. But I'd be interested. What if he ends up with a big blue back of his shirt? Unless you're asking, does hair get sweaty when you sweat as a person, Tony?
There's no point asking me that question, mate. Well, there he is. It's certainly a different look. We've got some supporters in the crowd today. People have decided to dye their hair blue and Federation blue, as he says, and come and support him here at the ground. Yes, I think theirs will wash out. 117 overs have been bowled in this inning so far. The run rate 3.24. Once more, a nice long discussion there between the captain and his leg spinner. He's around the wicket now. He'll be trying to get a little closer to the stumps. He was a bit wide last over. That was too short. He's hit that one nicely. Beautifully played, right in the meat of the bat. He didn't really look as if he was trying to force it too much. That just goes to show what a bit of timing does. All the way for 6. 7 for 386. So Colin Miller has gone to 9. 6 of them off the last ball of last over. Lovely shot. Oh, and he's gone for it as well. That one's sailing away down towards the boundary at mid-wicket. Boy, did that sail away off the middle of the bat too. Runs galore.
How easy are they making it look? 3 balls in a row, short. Nagamutu, Colin Miller pulls it away effortlessly, or seemingly, and then the sweep shot. The flat batted sweep in front of square. 4 for Gilchrist. The lead goes to 118.
Steered away. Down towards the boundary again. Runs are coming all over the place.
A little bit of finesse. Marlon Samuels worried about Gilchrist playing the flat batted sweep shot. Gets it a little wider, but also gets it a little shorter.
Down the wicket, it's in the air, but it's going to carry over the top of mid-off. It's a shot at ball at the moment, and they really are going after them. Yes, I've got to say that with the right field, I think that the off-spin has a chance here. Gilchrist, he's certainly going through the line, and the ball pitching in that rough outside off stump. Well, that brings up the 400 for Australia, and what's more, it's only the second time in this series that they've reached that landmark. Now that was a lovely shot. Through the gap at extra cover, rushing away down towards the boundary again. Perfect placement.
The key here is the back lift up, the foot gets out there, and the head leads the action. Watch out, the head right into the shot. Front foot, head, and front shoulder, all creating that power. Oof.
So 7 for 408 the score now, and Gilchrist on 87. Mark Taylor's moved into position, and with him is Ian Chappell.
Colin Stewart now coming on at the Paddington end. He's going to relieve Marlon Samuels. Samuels, who's bowled in a fairly defensive fashion, 16 overs, 5 maidens, none for 37. Stewart, the unlucky man today, he got rid of Ricky Ponting with a good one, and could or should have had this man, Adam Gilchrist, for naught. First ball. And taken at first slip. Brian Lara has grabbed it. Catch number 101. It flew very quickly. Once again, Stewart has got the wicket by pitching the ball up, and he might have also got a little bit of late swing there. Well bowled.
This is right hand, that's certainly tailed away from the left-hander. He's round the wicket, angling the ball in, certainly tailed away. Good edge, and that did fly very quickly to Brian Lara, and that's a good catch. That went quickly. He may have done some damage to that left hand. Let's hope for the West Indies' sake he hasn't. Adam Gilchrist departs for a very well made 87. Australia now 8 for 408.
Stuart MacGill now comes out to face Colin Stewart. And I think his spell this morning, his early spell with the second new ball, was a pretty good one.
There's no doubt about that. This one certainly tailed away. Adam Gilchrist, and Brian Lara took a very well judged catch. Certainly went quickly. It's not easy when they're that full. Goes quickly. Brian Lara moved well. Quite go in the middle of that left hand, and I've got a feeling that Brian Lara may have done some damage there. Jimmy Adams was certainly delighted. See the back of Adam Gilchrist. Unfortunately, his drop catch has cost them 87. Unfortunately, Brian Lara is going to leave the field. Doesn't look too bad from that shot. Just a little bit numb in one area. Certainly can go in the middle of that left hand. Let's hope for the West Indies' sake that he's going to be okay.
That's a good over from Colin Stewart. It's 8 for 408. Now, interesting little statistic we've picked up on Nagamutu. Pre the Steve Waugh dismissal, he averaged 87.9 Ks, virtually 88. There was a drop of about 10 Ks in the next couple of overs after he got rid of Steve Waugh. Almost 10 K difference. Bowled very well to get rid of Jason Gillespie. Be interesting to see how he goes against his counterpart, Stuart MacGill.
It certainly helps your confidence when you get the opposing captain, when he's made 100. He now has a good opportunity to maybe get 5 wickets in an innings. He's 3 for 107 at the moment. He's bowled well, so it's a good chance to get these last 2 wickets and get a 5-wicket haul.
Well, here's trouble for Stuart MacGill. The throw was a bit wide, and Nagamutu had to go from a long way away from the stumps to drag it back onto the stumps. He's also hurt his finger in clipping the stumps. I think it would have taken so long, Stuart MacGill might have just got home.
Well, certainly a big opportunity. Good throw. There's no doubt about it. Stuart MacGill would no longer be there. Throw was just a bit high and a bit to the left of Nagamutu, who did well to get back to the stumps. Stuart MacGill's got the bat down. Takes a while to get there, but still just got him. Yes, Stuart McGill will be out. When you look at that replay, Nagamutu's done well there. Had to bring that ball a long way. The throw was high and to his left, and he did very well. Stuart McGill's about an inch short. So Stuart McGill departs. Run out. Here's the throw again. It's a good piece of fielding. The throw was a little bit high. Stuart McGill's got the bat down. He's doing the right thing. Unfortunately for him and for Australia, he's still short. Stuart McGill will depart for one. Run out. Australia now 9 for 410.
Glenn McGrath, first chance that the Sydney crowd have had to give him the big welcome for the 300 Test wickets, and they gave him a rousing cheer. Took that in the Perth Test match, and just letting him know that they appreciate his performance. Glenn McGrath is on strike. Nagamutu to bowl his leg breaks. Got 3 wickets. Opportunity here to get 4. McGrath off the mark.
And a big cheer as well. So I remember Glenn McGrath getting 24 here against the West Indies some 4 years ago. Ended up getting that LBW to Jimmy Adams in that innings. I know that disappointed him.
Man at long on, but
well, that takes Australia's lead to 150 now. Still 1 wicket in hand. 150 runs here at the SCG, equivalent to probably about 200 elsewhere in Australia. Slower wicket, see with McGill and Miller side, so that's a very, very sizable lead.
Glenn McGrath's picked the wrong one. Hasn't got off the middle of the bat, but he's got enough of it. I think that shot was just to let the bowler know that he was picking him.
Disappointed with himself here, Glenn McGrath. He did pick it, was in good position.
Oh, and he's hit that one really well. So with that sort of lead, I think Australia would be a chance to wrap this game up tonight. It's 9 for 428.
Giving Adams now with his left arm orthodox spin. That's not a bad idea. To the right-handers. Spin it towards the slip. That's the way to go. And there he goes against the 6. No. It's well struck. Sweeping away to square leg.
You can see the benefit of being coached by a captain who himself goes for the slog shot.
I think what it's showing too is the quality of the West Indian spin attack. They should be wrapping up this tail very quickly, as McGill and Miller would do in this situation. Get the odd boundary, but not too much bother here. Catch it, that could be out. Umpire is saying not out. Saying it's off the forearm. This will be an interesting replay. McGrath suggesting it didn't hit the glove, but I would suggest that Marlon Samuels probably thought the same thing when he was given out by umpire Hare. Have a look at this. No, good decision.
Very good decision.
Away she goes. Beats the man on fine leg. 25,000 fans cheer their hearts out here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. This is good value, good entertaining cricket. Sensible batting by Colin Miller. Old tradition. They look in very good shape. Beautiful ground, the Sydney Cricket Ground, the old and the new. Good shot. Poor bowling, but Also so easy at the moment. Is that roof replaced because of hail damage? There's a lot of damage here in Sydney due to bad weather. And the old ladies and member stand was damaged badly. Now it looks magnificent. Part of the tradition of the Sydney Cricket Ground. The ladies stand on the left. The Wongal stand. Gone for it. That's a good hit. That's gone all the way. Colin Miller. We're loving it, blue, green or black. Wonderful batting. Brings up the 450 for 9.
That was a big hit. The pitch is just about in the middle of the ground here. And it was a good catch.
Well, then he gets a full pitch and he chips, they'll get 2 again. Oops, there's a chance for Jimmy. He's gone, is he? No, he's safely home. Or is he? Umpire Hare asked for the replay. This will be a tragic end. The crowd will hate this if he's run out. McGrath hesitated. There was always 2 in that.
McGrath did hesitate, and I got a feeling he's in a bit of trouble. Gone and forgotten.
Well, that is very unfortunate. Ended a good little partnership. McGrath run out for 13. Miller not out 36. The Australians are bowled out for 452.
Well, 41 overs the Australians have got. That's 41 overs have got to be bowled before the close of play, unless of course something drastic happens like thunderstorms and things like that, but I don't see any clouds around. And of course there's an extra 8 if they really do get amongst the West Indian batsmen. This will be a bit of a test for them now. This pitch has deteriorated a little bit. The bounce is relatively inconsistent, and of course 1 or 2 cracks there which will help the ball move around just a little. And the Australians normally very good at taking advantage of these situations, and I think it's fair to say, Michael, when the pitch starts to deteriorate a bit, that's when batting sides, weaker batting sides, really do get found out. If you're batting on the first day, you can very often on a good pitch get away with a little bit more, but once it really starts to do a bit, that's when your technique has got to be right.
Definitely, Tony. This is what we have seen with the West Indies team on this tour. They haven't really been getting a lot of runs in their second innings. I think I am right in saying they haven't gotten to 200 in their second innings yet. Well, Australia at the moment have a lead of 180. They will certainly need to get a lot more than 200 if they're going to make this interesting.
That's good, very good. Nicely forced away on the offside for 2. And the West Indians away.
After the first innings, I think both Sherwin Campbell and Wavell Hines should have enough confidence to go out there and be positive, just as they were in the first innings. Still a reasonably good pitch. We did show a few cracks this morning, but that's pretty much outside off stump.
That's well played. Pitched up and driven down the ground. Campbell picking up 3 there. That one not quite getting to the boundary. Campbell and Hines together again. That's well bowled, and oh, he's sent back. He's going to slip. He hits the stumps. He's got him. Well, he was right in the middle of the pitch. I don't think there was a run there. He called for it. He dropped it down and called for it. His partner sent him back, and I think a few expletives may have emanated from his mouth as eventually he got himself off the ground. Have a look at this.
Consciously looking for runs, yes, but you've got to be careful anyway. I don't think there was a run there. That was on the offside of the pitch, exactly where the fast bowler will be following through. You usually see singles trying to be taken on the onside.
Into the gap and running away to the boundary. That should go all the way. So the first boundary of the innings. He's covered in mud.
not exactly mud, it's all that muck that lies around Popping Crease area. He seems to have recovered now. You don't often see him go off. He certainly did, though. Into the gap she goes, over the top as well. She bounced into the ground and it was away. Quite a lot of cricketers, when they get on the ground, that's it. Oh, and he's ducked underneath that one, and as he was ducking with his head down, he tried to play the shot as well. So there's no way he kept his eye on the ball then.
But it's one or the other. You've got to be ducking or hooking. I don't think it's too advisable to be ducking and hooking at the same time. Have a look at this. It's almost as if he's trying to fan away a mosquito instead of really hooking.
So they trail by 168. Look to continue. Slip gully, forward short leg, silly point. Oh, he's tossed that one up in an effort to try and get a bit of spin, but it's been beautifully hit through the covers. Yes, that was right up there, half volley length, and nicely played away.
Just a bit too full. He's looking for that rough area outside the off stop, but look how full that was. That pitched closer than any of the rough areas.
Good solid start by the West Indian openers, as they did in the first innings. 147 for the first wicket. McGrath continues from the members' end. 2 slips, 2 gullies in. Good shot, knocked down in the gully. Bounced short of Stephen Moore. Well stopped. It's a genuine square cut. Small players normally do cut well. Good position this time, got well over the ball, hit it hard into the ground. A good save. Sherwin Campbell certainly growing in confidence against McGrath. It's a great shot. Didn't really come onto the front foot, it was half a back foot drive. He placed it superbly, 4 runs.
He really has cleared his head, Sherwin Campbell. The feet moved but then stopped, and they stayed still, head still, whack, back foot drive wide of Justin Langer. Well, we suspect Ricky Ponting's limping. We're unsure. We'll find out what that is for you, but whether that's the problem ankle or a different injury.
Could have been the LBW decision to hit on the full. Oh, great shot. It was on, wasn't it? He's driven him twice. He's dropped in short and he's played the perfect pull shot. If only Sherwin Campbell could have done this in Brisbane, started off in this sort of form, it would have made a big difference to the West Indies. That's a good cricket shot.
Well, he's ducked one very effortlessly prior to this, used his crease brilliantly, watched it all the way, kept the head still.
Jason Gillespie, quite rightly from the members' end. This ball is now 14 overs old. He's not getting a brand new ball, but he's been the main striker of late. He's bowled superbly. Best bowling 6 for 40. We'll remember that because it was the top 6. Wonderful effort. Oh, well, there's a man out there and he beats him. That's good batting. It was short. It wasn't all that quick, and Sherwin Campbell, the informed Sherwin Campbell, plays a perfect pull shot.
I'll take Jason Gillespie's word for it. It wasn't done on purpose, this short ball, as he was warming up. He had problems with the footholds. And Sherwin Campbell, no problems there. Crunched it forward of square along the ground.
It's amazing how many fast bowlers have trouble with the footholds when they get banged away through mid-wicket. West Indian Brains Trust have been talking to Wavell Hines because it's his first tour of Australia. I think he's a very promising cricketer. Thrown in at number 3 and forced to open. I hope they're saying, well, when a guy goes around the wicket at this level, better try and hit the ball from where the ball comes from rather than where he tends to hit it, which is square. And he's been caught once or twice in the slip cordon driving when the ball was going. This is a different angle. So he's got to play from where the ball's coming from. And he does that and does it beautifully. That's perfectly played. Getting through the line, coming right arm around the wicket. It really is much easier for a left-handed batsman if you're in form and a right arm bowler goes around the wicket. You can still get you out, but it takes away a few possibilities.
"17 overs bowled. West Indies none for 38. Stuart McGill continuing. That's a very good shot. Wasn't a bad ball from Stuart McGill. It's nicely flighted. Wavell Hines got to the pitch of it, just placed it through the offside. The timing got him 3.
Well, we heard Ian Healy talking about the top hand and the bottom hand in conjunction with Bill Lawry. And I think that was one of the major problems with Wavell Hines, looking to hit the ball perhaps a bit too hard, and that bottom hand taking over when you're looking to hit it that hard. Much better shot, that, placing it.
He's got that one through. Very well placed that time from Sherwin Campbell. A number of opportunities to hit that shot away. He's finally found the gap just behind point. West Indies none for 46. West Indies none for 48 in their second innings, 272 in their first. Australia 452 in reply. Campbell and Hines doing a good job here. Once again, he's found the gap. It's twice in 2 balls from Sherwin Campbell. And Ricky Ponting throws himself into the fence. Now, was he hanging onto that ball as he was in the gutter? If he was, that will be 4. I think Rudy Coetsen might have a bit of a look at that one.
I think the question was asked of Ricky Ponting, not too sure what his response was. That is a bit difficult. He's not holding it really, but it's just rolling over his hand. This will give us a better view.
Well, was he in control of the ball? The ball was actually sitting on the back of his hand. Now, he's touching the ball. His feet are definitely in the gutter. Now, that could well be 4, I think. Yes, and signalled by Rudy Coetsen on that occasion. That brings up the 50 for the West Indies. With that boundary, they move on to 52 without loss. A couple of good opening stands here from the West Indies. 147 in the first innings and now 52 unbroken in the second. It's the sort of starts they needed. That's a good single. It's very well played from Sherwin Campbell. Wasn't quite out of the middle of the bat. You realise Ricky Ponting was fairly deep there at point, trying to save the boundary from the square cut. Picked up a single, got himself off strike.
Rotation of the strike, always very important. Make sure that the bowlers don't bowl to the same batsman for a long period of time. That's when plans can be set.
What's got the edge? It's beaten Mark Waugh though at first slip for a couple. Once again, it looked like a quicker ball to Wavell Hines. It's the over bowled. West Indies none for 55. Won't take all that long. So Steve Waugh has to start making a few changes to his bowling and his fielding. Still got quite a handy lead at this stage of 125. If this keeps up, there might be just a couple of headaches for Steve Waugh. Big shout. Errol Hare's had a close look at it. Looked to me in about line of about Midland leg. Now, was that going down the leg side? Errol Hare said yes, it was.
And how far in front of the crease was he hit? That hit just about on the off stump when it pitched, and it's in line with leg stump when it has hit the pad. So more than likely that would miss leg stump.
Oh, that was nearly right through him as well. He's got an edge on it. He's going to go for 4. That was a quick ball from Gillespie. In the end, Sherwin Campbell got just a little inside edge on it, picked up a boundary.
bit of swing for Gillespie as well.
Upon him just going off, he was hobbling around. Looked like an ankle injury. Let's hope it's not the ankle injury he sustained about a year ago. Andrew Bickle, the 12th man, is on the field.
Well played into the gap, running away down towards the Brawongle stand. Won't quite reach the fence, but they'll get 3. So 110 behind. Miller continuing with his off spinners. Gone flat again and worked away on the onside. Well, he's driven that one nicely. He tried to toss it up, I think, outside off stump that time, but he really did hit through it nicely, and he got it in the middle of the bat, so more runs.
Yes, he's been impressive in this opening position. Wavell Hines showing a lot more responsibility, and he's driving sensibly. Whereas earlier in the series he's been out a couple of times, playing rather ambitious drives. Now he seems to be controlling the shot a lot better, playing really well.
Oh, that's beaten everything. Onto the back foot there, trying to force it away on the offside, but misreading the degree to which the ball was going to spin. And I think I'm right in saying that it beat the inside edge, could so easily have crashed into the stumps, must have been close.
Must have got a flick on the thigh on the way through. It was signalled as leg buys. So the ball's bounced and turned a little bit. Gone right over the top of the stumps.
Hines through cover again, and the wimping Gillespie certainly not 100% fit. Gives chase. They'll get 3 more. 4 runs off the over, none for 87. Always great support for this wonderful bowler here at his home ground, the Sydney Cricket Ground. 7 overs, 2 maidens, none for 19. Miller took the new ball, none for 21. McGill, none for 26. Gillespie, no wicket for 18. Just 2 slips in the gully. So Steve Waugh not over-attacking here. Regulation field. Point cover mid-off. On the offside. Onside of mid-ons, forward square leg and a deep fine leg. Oh, great shot. When McGrath comes and buys a half volley, punched away, it won't go to the fence, but that's 3 more. Wavell Hines driving much straighter in this innings. Getting a good result for driving through mid-off and cover rather than trying to hit it square. McGrath's had a very successful series, but he's not hit a wall. But the last 2 test matches he struggled a fraction, but he's still taken 18 wickets at 15, which is a tremendous series in itself. Gillespie 18 and 17. Miller, bit of a surprise packet, I suggest, 10 in Adelaide, 16 at 16, and McGill 16 at 25, and Lee 11 at 16. Wonderful figures. Can't remember a series where 4 bowlers have got an average under 18 in a 5 test match series. Oh, well played, that's 4. The waiter for this is a new Sherwin Campbell. I'm sure his fans back home will be delighted with this comeback. He was gone for all money coming into this test match. Now he's playing all his shots. That was a very sensible glide down to 3rd man. It's early days, but he looks to me to be a find.
Well, watching him in the earlier matches, there's no doubt he was trying to square drive the quicker bowlers, and it was money for jam, really, where there's a bit of bounce in the pitch. And he's changed that. He's definitely been working on the nets, and he is playing much straighter down the ground.
Got him! We let it go. Well, there you go. Didn't offer a shot. That's a disappointing end. That possibly will be stumps on the 3rd day. That's a tragic end to a good innings from a young player. probably looked at the clock and said it's 5:58 here, did knock the shot, and he got knocked over. Hold him. That's the breakthrough the Australians needed. It's 1 for 98.
Well, that came back a considerable distance. It was a leg cutter. It's just hit the top of off, a bit like the one Brian Lara let go. And it's beautifully bowled by McGrath because he took the other balls away from the left-handed Wavell Hines. Hines allowed them to go, and that one came back and came back quite sharply. Got to be a very good bowler to be able to do that sort of thing, and that's precisely what McGrath is. 1 for 98.
Yes, I give credit to McGrath, but I think it was the time of day. Wavell Hines had played very sensibly. It was a good stand. He's gone for 46. Campbell's not out, 45. So the end of the third day. It's 1 for 98.
Sherwin Campbell and Jimmy Adams, the two men coming out to take up the attack against the Australians. It'll be against McGrath because he hasn't finished his over yet. They had a big opportunity there to bring in Brian Lara. That is the trophy for which they play in this series and every series between Australia and the West Indies. It's the Frank Worrell Trophy. It was devised and made way back in 1960-61 when the Tide Test Series was on. Sir Donald Bradman was chairman of the board. He thought of the idea and he got Ernie McCormack, the former Australian fast bowler, to manufacture it. And it is a wonderful prize every time Australia and West Indies meet. In the commentary box now, Bill Laurie, and alongside him is Ian Chappell.
Thank you, Rich, and good morning to all our viewers. Well, what an interesting stage this test match is at. Good opening stand of 98. Sherwin Campbell's played superbly for 45, not out. Now it's Jimmy Adams, the captain, on strike. Very important partnership for the West Indies. They require a lead at least 200, one would think, to give the Australians a real challenge for this final test match. Not a big crowd in, but there's 2 slips and 2 gullies for the West Indian skipper. On strike to McGrath. Oh dear, maybe inside edge onto the pad. That's the over bowled. It's 1 for 98. And good morning, Ian Chappell.
Morning, Bill, and hello to all of our viewers. Jimmy Adams very tentative, playing like a man who's struggling for form. Ball hit the pad first. It might have just been a touch outside off stump. Jason Gillespie starting at the Randwick end, although Glenn McGrath did have to finish that over. Maybe Steve Waugh will consider spin from the other end.
2 slips, 2 gullies, bat pad. And that's what Ian Chappell's talking about. Shot of number 3 should play to a half bowl. He's punched it through cover. And I'll pick up 3. Brings up the 100 for the loss of 1 wicket. Wavell Hines. All the time Steve Waugh changing the field. There's short cover now for Jimmy Adams. No bat pad. Goes again, beats cover. Got some width there from Gillespie. West Indies in with a rough chance of getting a reasonable lead here if they play well. That's the way to play well. That's a perfect off drive, hitting straight through the line, Sherwin Campbell. That's going to go all the way. Brings up his 50. A fine double. Little opening batsman. A great comeback.
It is a very good comeback. We talk in cricketing terms about courage against pace bowling, and you usually think of that as being a big-hearted effort when you face up to the quick bowlers, but there's also courage that comes from the mind, and that's where Sherwin Campbell has shown a lot of courage in this match, because his mind must have been in a muddle, but he's been able to sort himself out in this game.
Tommy Grants is fine. He get at least 2. Yes, I think it's full credit to him. I think it probably summed it up, Ian. I think he came into the series looking to play the sheet anchor role and got himself in real trouble against McGrath by being too defensive. It's very hard to come back from a trot tell you, 50-odd runs from the first 4 test matches, and he come out and make 2 50s. That's a very good batting chart. He's driven, he's cut, he's hooked well. Gets an edge. And talking about that edge, we look at the field placings now. What a difference a few boundaries make. Steve Waugh, who's had 4, 5 and 6 catches in that cordon throughout the series, now has got 1 slip and a gully. And Sherwin Campbell was a bit unlucky there that didn't beat first slip and go for 4. Oops, that's a dangerous leave. Very dangerous.
McGrath got the old ball to swing back a little bit there.
Oops, there you go. Didn't carry, I don't think. That was how he's caught previous test match, by not offering a shot and the ball going through the Gilchrist, who caught it going down the leg side. This time it went more towards slip or straight. Good shot, but straight to cover. That was hit beautifully. Missed field. Got him on the shin as well. That's Matthew Hayden. And that was well driven by Sherwin Campbell. He's in good touch.
Right on the point of the knee.
Yesterday, Steve Waugh gave the new ball to Colin Miller. Not the case this morning, starting with the 2 pacemen, which I think is probably the right method. Can't expect the spinners to bowl all the team out every day. Fast bowler's got to chip in with the odd wicket. Close, very close. He's given in. Well, twice in this match he's been given LBW, Jimmy Adams. First innings had pitched just outside of the leg stump. Where did that one pitch?
Well, Jimmy Adams has a similar problem to the one we talked about with Ricky Ponting. That front foot goes a long way across and gets in his way. Absolutely plumb, that one. Once again, he couldn't get the bat around that front pad. Jimmy Adams' nightmare continues. West Indies 2 for 112.
Brian Lara, the new batsman. Key to this match, one would feel. Sherwin Campbell playing well at the other end. The great player needs to perform here from the West Indies point of view. Once again, Glenn McGrath has done the damage to the top order. Bowled Hines last night, got Jimmy Adams plumb in front. That was the over bowled. Here's the delivery, shuffling across, and as Ian Chappell pointed out, he had to come around the pad, couldn't do so. That was plumb. Replay showed it clearly pitched in line, and now it's Gillespie. This is a 46th over with this ball, so it's not going to do too much. Might get a little bit of swing. On. Yes, he is. That's brilliantly caught. Sherwin Campbell goes. A wonderful catch by Gilchrist, and all of a sudden the West Indies 3 for 112.
Just a hint of movement away there from Jason Gillespie. Just enough to catch the outside edge. And a very good catch there from Adam Gilchrist. The ball wasn't going to carry to Ponting at first slip. Gilchrist, very athletic, got across, got his hand underneath it, and Australia have got the double breakthrough. West Indies 3 for 112.
Young Marlon Samuels, just 19 years of age. It's been a test of character for him this summer. He's never got it easy. He's played very well. He's certainly a player of the future. Always under pressure. 3 for 112. Gillespie getting the ball to move away from Sherwin Campbell. He was drawn into the shot. A brilliant catch by Adam Gilchrist, and all of a sudden the West Indies have lost 2 quick wickets. 87 yesterday with the bat. This morning a magnificent catch. And a wonderful series for Gillespie as well. 19 wickets. That's close too. He's given in. He's done a hat-trick. Got him on the full. That looked to be plumb. Gillespie bowling superb length. Caught the new batsman. Plumb in front. That's 4 for 112.
Throughout this series, Jason Gillespie has pitched the ball up and had a lot of success by doing it. He got the wicket of Sherwin Campbell by pitching the ball up and moving it away. Good catch from Gilchrist, and then Marlon Samuels coming in, moves a long way across in front of his stumps. That ball swinging back in. And Jason Gillespie is on a hat-trick. Marlon Samuel's gone for naught. And the West Indies are 4 for 112. Naresh Sarwan coming in on a hat-trick, and he doesn't have any form at all. He's already made a pair on this tour. In fact, he's made 2 pairs.
Hat-trick ball, and while this is happening, their best batsman hasn't faced a ball. That's one of the reasons why he should have been in 3 this morning. Now he's got his back to the wall. He's in with a young lad who's hardly scored a run. What a moment for this young man, Sharwan. He's facing hat-trick ball from Gillespie. There's 2 slips, silly point, forward short leg, short cover, no gully. Jason Gillespie, a chance for a hat-trick. Oh, he got bat on ball, and good luck to him.
On that occasion, Gillespie opted for the in-swinging delivery. It was right on line. He got the first wicket. Sherwin Campbell with an outswinger. Got Samuels, trapped him with the in-swinger, and then went for the one coming back into the right-hander once again. A lot of flaps moving around there on his pads, Sarwan.
A magnificent over from Gillespie. Backing up McGrath. Grimes gets off the mark. Well done. It's his best score of the series, which is not funny, but I hope this young lad has a good day. And a misfield as well, so a little bit of luck. A wonderful over from Gillespie, though. It's all happening here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The West Indies are 4 for 116.
This was the last ball of the previous over from Jason Gillespie. Good drive through the offside. Brought him a boundary. Got a bit of help as well.
They got off to a good start. They wouldn't have anticipated all those wickets falling, but there's an opportunity for Lara here to at least leave this Test match series through the gap at Gully. There's no third man, so 4. This is an opportunity for him to do something for the West Indies with the bat here, just to regain just a little bit of confidence, self-confidence for himself, the team. Put up a bit of a fight. It's, one has to feel sorry for the openers. Both innings they've really batted very well. Well, there it is. So he's been thinking about it. That's exactly what we were saying. So a few shortish deliveries, not too short, and then trying to really fire this one in, a little bit of in swing as well. Boy, he only just got his bat down in time on that one.
That was beautifully bowled and also well played. That certainly was an excellent delivery.
Here's a short delivery, pulled away nicely by Lara. Not quite off the middle of the bat, but certainly effectively played. He won't quite reach the boundary, but Lara hits himself 3 more.
Stuart McGill bowling to Brian Lara. That's going to go all the way. That's nicely hit. Lara using his feet. We haven't seen that much from the West Indies batsmen in this game. On this occasion, Brian Lara used his feet to good effect. He goes again. This is an even better shot. The first one was over wide-ish mid-on. That one straight over mid-on. Nicely timed as well.
They lost their 4 wickets very close to each other, even though one was last night, the last ball of last night, then 3 this morning. Their run scoring ability has been pretty good though this morning.
Full toss, that'll be 4 more. Well, Brian Lara's putting the pressure here on Stuart McGill. At the moment, he's winning the battle.
He's made 2 balls into half volleys. Now he's drawn a full toss. Stuart McGill starts to think about Adelaide. Well, Brian Lara basically hit him out of the Melbourne Test. 99 runs from the bowling of McGill.
He goes again, it's a chance. Up in the air. Colin Miller's under it, he's dropped it. He has dropped it. That is a huge life for Brian Lara and the West Indies. Colin Miller hangs on to that. It's probably game over. But down it went.
The fielders had almost gathered around him here. Colin Miller, eyes under it, still moving, and still sees body and head moving, and that's the worst feeling in cricket. Brian Lara had almost started to walk off the wicket square. The crowd not happy. All their hair colours will change tomorrow.
West Indies 4 for 149. Ramnaresh Sarwan on 9. Brian Lara with a life in the last over on 26. Will that be the life the West Indians needed? Still 31 runs behind at the moment. There's the man who dropped him, Colin Miller. Oh! Just hope it wasn't some of that blue dye that might have dripped down in his eyes when he dropped that one.
You're talking about the Sydney wicket dying. Tell you what is dying, that's that hairstyle. It's very patchy, day 4. Dead set, you'd swear those 2 hands were feet. Popped straight out. Brian Lara went really hard at the full toss. He was looking for his 4th 4. Stuart McGill thought he had a victim.
As I said, his last over was disappointing. Obviously thinking about dropping catches. Now he's back on the job. Big shout. It's got him. Colin Miller's got him. Oh, that is a great piece of bowling. He was disappointed after dropping Brian Lara off Stuart McGill. He goes up to apologise to him now and says, mate, he should have been yours. He's done the right thing, Miller. This has been a much better over. He's turned the ball. Got the bounce of emotion there too from Colin Miller. He knows he let his spin partner down. He's done the right thing by the team by coming back and taking the wicket.
All the blue wigs will remain. Colin Miller gets him. We talked about Miller causing the left-hander some difficulties. The team will get great mirth for a long, long time out of that drop catch now. And Adam Gilchrist and Steve Waugh, the 2 to console him mid-over, or at the end of the over, will be leading that mirth, and Adam Gilchrist does the right thing. A faint outside edge. Brian Lara walks. Colin Miller feels it for his team. Lara gone for 28. It's 5 for 154.
West Indies wicketkeeper Ridley Jacobs makes his way out to the middle to replace Brian Lara. Highest score of 96 was in Perth. Second test match, he played very, very well in that innings. He's going to need to play particularly well here. Colin Miller really is turning the ball and getting some bounce, which I thought had gone from the wicket. That one bounced. Brian Lara looked to me like he was thinking about letting the ball go. Just left enough bat there, and Adam Gilchrist took a very, very good catch. Well, a couple of slips and 2 bat pads now. Colin Miller's and the Australians are right on top here at the SCG. An emotional Colin Miller. Shakes his head. Yes, I wonder what the supporter in the stands thinking about now. He threw his cap down. Colin Miller, probably abusing him for the last 5 or 10 minutes. He's now the hero. No one's through. Short ball from Stuart McGill. Someone was onto it in a flash. Steve Waugh won't quite get it either. He'll go all the way.
Stuart McGill's last 2 overs haven't been as consistent as he probably would have liked. Has he lost some composure since the drop catch and the missed Lara chance? But now he's just dragged that short to the right-hander. Sarwan on top of it. That's great. They'll continue to forge in a positive manner to try and knock off that 22 runs and then build some sort of a lead to put Australia under pressure. Cut shot again through the same gap. Stephen Waugh giving up the chase on that one. That's made it all the way. Sawan moves on to 20.
High for 162, the West Indies. Still 18 runs behind. That's a bad delivery. And it got what it should have got. Short and wide, punished.
Well, Ridley Jacobs hasn't been at his best in this situation in this series. Facing Colin Miller on a wearing pitch. That's why there's 4 men around him, 2 in front and 2 behind. But Colin Miller can't afford to be that short because there's no problems playing the cut shot for Jacobs.
That might have got up underneath his cap. 2 spinners on, not wearing a helmet, but it's easy for the ball to come out of the rough and give you a black eye.
Ball's actually come off his boot.
Just though Salvan's okay, but it's quite a nasty blow. McGill bowled around about 70 k's, I guess. Ball would have slowed up a fraction after it hit the ground. Well, that's a shout from a lot of people. Sounded like certainly a clunky pad noise.
He was out LBW in the first innings, Ramnaresh Sawan, to exactly that delivery, the skidding top spinner. Did appear to be going fairly straight.
It's a good stroke from Ridley Jacobs. He drives well and he plays the sweep well. And he's a bit of an improviser also.
He's quite well placed to play the sweep shot against Colin Miller because Ridley Jacobs is getting the front foot well across to try and cover the rough area.
Wonderful shot. Nice judgment of length. And Ridley Jacobs punched it away through cover. That's well played. He's quite happy to play the pull shot against anything short. We saw yesterday Sherwin Campbell, anything short. He was going with it and hitting it away on the offside. But there are plenty of gaps there on the onside for this type of delivery. Go! Very good improviser, Ridley Jacobs.
Partnership worth 28 now, and it's all 4s. But that won't disturb the bowling side. What will disturb them, as the West Indies take a lead by 2 runs, what will disturb them if they start rotating the strike. I think at the moment the Australians are quite happy to have Miller bowling to the left-hander and McGill bowling to the right-hander. Ideal.
Well, be brave. Ridley Jacobs has attacked and done all the good things with courage and skill so far in the series. He's unlikely to change now. And all these runs now are going to be very valuable.
Unless we got rid of Campbell and then got rid of Samuels in consecutive deliveries. Down at the non-striker's end, you've got Ridley Jacobs there on 22. He's hit 4 4s as well so far in his innings. Oh, it's in the air, and that would have been second slip. No second slip there, so down to the boundary for 4.
This is astonishing. First time we've seen it in the season. No second slip. Jason Gillespie bowling. Ramnaresh Sawan batting plays the cover drive. Technique looked good, just a little late and took the outside edge.
So far he has 1 for 45. Got rid of Lara. He was caught by Gilchrist, and all that happened just after he'd dropped Lara. He dropped him when hitting the rough and beating everybody. Yes, he got him out just after he dropped him off the bowling of McGill. A bit of a blow for McGill. Almost a repeat of the last one. And that's now the 50 partnership. So this is encouraging. Most ducks in the series. Well, there we are, 28 the West Indies. Australia in second position in the season of 78-79. England in 98-99. There's a lot of ducks, 28, that's for sure, when the opposition only registers 1. Right, now this should be interesting. He's over the wicket, obviously, to the right-hander. We'll see if he continues to swing this ball in that reverse fashion you hear us talk about a lot.
Steve Waugh's also brought Mark Waugh from that gully position, which he'd moved him across to, into a floating slip, really working hard on one side of the ball. Sweat, saliva into one side, and hope that any rough marks and any roughage and scuffing that happens on that other side. This one's should go away.
Short delivery and pulled away. Not quite firmly enough to reach the boundary, but they'll get 3. And the question is, will Gillespie now stay over the wicket, or is he going to persist with the strategy of bowling from round? I think he's probably going to stay around. Yes, the screen is once again moving across to the other side.
If he finishes the Test series on a very good note, that gives him something positive, something to go away and work on, and think about why it was so bad in the 3 tests that he played. Sorry, the 2 that he played before this one. And that's gone very close to the stumps. And then the important thing that Sarwan's got to work out is why it was so bad, and then why it was so much better in this one. Once he's worked out what caused the good stuff, he's got to remember to do that more often.
Almost found its way back on the stumps. Jacobs getting a long way out of his crease, Jacobs. Trying to counter that spin, that swing, should I say. That wasn't too far away.
Stuart McGill has a 0 in the wicket column. Should have a 1. Had an absolute sitter dropped at mid-on, and it was Brian Lara just to make matters worse, but the Australians weren't punished. Oh! It's gone pretty close to leg stump eventually.
Looks to see what umpire Rudy Kotzen calls here. Leg by, as he calls. Must have been perilously close to bowling him. Probably fortunately it did hit some part of his body.
Well, that's well played. Now that's a much better shot than when Sarwan got hit in the eye. He did exactly what he should have done with the other delivery. Came out of his crease, got to it on the full.
Yes, and played it with a straight bat too. That's what you can do when you get there on the full. Watch this. Stands up, plays it with a straight bat. No risk at all in that shot. No one out at mid-wicket. There's only a mid-on and a man down at deep backward square. Big gap on the leg side.
Another misfield. Ridley is just ambling for the first.
Well, it was pretty ordinary cricket all round there. It wasn't a bad shot or a bad delivery, but it was a bad piece of fielding. Short cover, and then compounded by the fact that Jason Gillespie just ambled after it as well. Rudy Jacobs was only thinking about 1, but Jason Gillespie ran beside it for long enough. Rudy Jacobs says, oh, well, we'll have 2 then. Very unusual piece of cricket from the Australians in the outfield. You don't usually expect that.
Oh, what a good catch. No, No, just in front of him. Mark Waugh. He makes it look so easy. I thought for a moment that he'd caught it.
Well, that's exactly the sort of shot that Mark Waugh was positioned there for, at that wide four-slip. One that goes away, pushes at it. Man short of Mark Waugh, who tries to come forward, just couldn't get there. Mark Waugh playing up to the crowd afterwards, throwing the ball in the air. Big cheer went round the ground.
There's 50 for Sarwan, a well-deserved 50, and a very good comeback. Speaking of comebacks, we'll come back to that footage in a minute.
That's very well played. Remember where Sarwan, big smile on his face too. 3 ducks in 5 innings. Duck here in the first innings of this match, and now 50 on out in the second. Looks to the heavens. 50 runs was going to be very tough to get. He's made it look pretty easy.
.82 overs have been bowled, and Steve Waugh has decided to take the new ball. That's not Glenn McGrath holding it aloft. It's umpire Hare. Similar sort of height.
Used to open the bowling too, Darryl Hare, in his grade days. Been a long while since he's had the new ball in his hand, though, for bowling reasons. Partnership's brought about this new ball, though. I'm sure that Steve Waugh would have thought when they removed Lara, they wouldn't have needed a second new ball, but Sarwan and Jacobs have played particularly well.
Gone straight away. It's had an effect, and Sarwan's innings has come to an end. First ball with the second new ball.
Oh, great piece of bowling from Glenn McGrath. Remember, Sarwan didn't do a lot wrong here. McGrath got the right spot, just held its line. Good, healthy edge, straight to Adam Gilchrist. Excellent bowling. Brings about the end of a very gutsy innings. And Ramnarez Sarwan departs for a 51. West Indies now 6 for 239.
Angamutu, the left-handed leg spin bowler. High score 18. He comes out with McGrath taking his 3rd wicket of the innings.
First ball with the new ball. The seam in perfect position on the way down. Only the top-class bowlers can manage to do that. That got bounce and movement as well.
Oh, that's close too. Very, very close. Umpire Hare takes a long time. Not this time, Glenn. It takes a long time to give LBW as he was working very hard. Did a pitching line. It certainly stayed down. That looked to be very, very close.
I think it was, but did it pitch in the blue zone? Just on the edge of it. Well, umpire Hare must have said, I can't be absolutely certain that it pitched in line, but it has pitched on the edge of the blue.
That was plumb LB. No doubt about that. And that was dead set out. It's tough for the umpires, but that was plumb. Nicely played. Bit of salt into the wounds there from McGrath. An amazing breed, fast bowlers. One of the reasons why he's a little bit unhappy with umpire Hare is the fact he thought that was out, and it probably was, but you don't get them all. Some favour the batsmen, some favour the bowlers. That's what Test cricket's all about. This time there's no hope for that one either. Jacobs not looking for the single. Nagamutu being caught on the crease. That's a fine spell of bowling. His length spot on. He's hitting the seam very hard. Pretty well played. It's a single down to fine leg. Not a happy man, but that's cricket. 6 for 250. Gill. Good shot. Hitting with the spin. Sweeping it away for 4. You haven't seen that very often with the left-handers sweeping with the spin of the leg spinner. Quite often they've tried to go through the offside. But that's a way for low order batsmen to play.
Gillespie's the one I'm wondering about.
Gets another one. Gets what it deserves as well. That's a rank full toss. Smashed it through mid-wicket.
I thought Gillespie bowled a very good spell early on. When McGrath took the second new ball, I was in a minority who thought that Gillespie would have been on the other end.
Yes, and also it's not been a good second innings for McGill. 7 wickets, a match winner in the first innings. Struggling to pick up a wicket here.
Oh!
It's gone from him again this time. Oh, misfield by Colin Miller, is it? And it goes for 4 more. It'll make it. Just trickle into the gutter. No, they should run 4. They're happy with 3. That was pretty lazy running between the wickets. But this is a good little knock here. Nagamutu taking it on. Colin Miller not happy. Hasn't been a great day in the field. Straight over the top of it. Took an hour to get up. In the air but safe. This is good cricket. Nagamutu chancing his arm, taking the pressure off Ridley Jacobs, throwing the bat at Glenn McGrath. Valuable runs. The lead is now 85.
That OBW was close enough for me to be shaking my head in the commentary box exactly the same time as Bill Lawry was lifted 6 inches off his seat and brandishing his fist. Now, there wasn't much in it, but it did just pitch inside that blue zone, and there was never any doubt about it hitting the stumps. It's one you can mark down that Nagamutu's got away with and McGrath hasn't.
In the air and safe, a big hit. That's good cricket. 8 off the over. Good attacking cricket by the West Indies. 6 for 269. A flood of runs here at the MCG. Westby from the Randwick end, who has bowled superbly today. Both him and McGrath have done the damage with some excellent pace bowling on a 4th day pitch. And that's what happens when you hit through the line. You come right arm around the wicket to left hand, you give him open go.
Well, there must be some sort of a theory they've worked out in the team that this is the way to go with around the wicket. McGrath, I would always regard McGrath as a thinking bowler, the thinking bowler, and except for the times where he might get a red mist in front of his eyes. But he starts off over the wicket just about all the time.
It's a bit of a nasty bounce there as that one runs away for another 2. Yes, these runs, each and every one of them, could turn out to be very, very useful. You just never know in this game. Steve Ward just beginning to look a little frustrated there. And while he wasn't playing a few years ago against the South Africans, I think he might have been injured. His brother certainly was, McGrath was. Yes, he didn't enjoy that, did he? Yes, and they couldn't get 117. That is against the South African attack. It wasn't really anything to write home about. It was some quite good steady bowling. 3 more.
I think the West Indies will need quite a few more than the 117 though, Tony, because we know this West Indies bowling attack at the moment is not at its very best. Courtney Walsh, we saw him leaving the field in the first innings. I think he will definitely bowl in the second innings, but he certainly won't be at his best. And it seems as if the pitch has slowed down a bit since the first innings as well.
That's interesting. He's gone for that one from way outside off stump. And that's his half century. Glenn McGrath not spending too much time giving him too much of a cheer. He's just put his head down and headed straight back to his bowling mark. But it's been, in the circumstances, a good effort. 7 fours, and Ridley Jacobs has been one of the more consistent of the West Indian batsmen. And there's a good reason for that. He's been pretty aggressive. Oi! It just goes past the shoulder of the batsman down the other end. 6 for 281. Well, Glenn McGrath there, he'd been spoken to by umpire Hare. That probably had a bit to do with the one that he threw back at the batsman's end. He controlled himself slightly, I think. This is what happened. He picked it up, bit of frustration there. It was a gentle little throw, and Nagamutu just moving to his left. He then went and grabbed his hat off umpire Hare. Not a happy chappy at this stage. Umpire has then called him over, so he's had to stop. And so what, me? And umpire pulled him over and said, look, just cool it a little bit. That's beautifully played all the way along the ground into the gap and into the fence for 4.
Really batting very well with the Jacobs. Just a turn of the wrist and getting it through the mid-wicket region.
Yes, so Michael, interesting to hear you protecting the fast bowler like that. It would suggest to me that on occasions you might have suffered from a little bit of white line fever as well.
Certainly did. I've said it to many people that I am very happy that I played cricket before match referees.
Got that away on the onside as well, so more runs here for the West Indies. Oh, and a good effort down there. Did he get it? Yes, he did. So busy Gillespie down there, diving straight ahead, as it were, to stop it rolling down into the gutter.
I think Richard Bedno did mention earlier on that he wasn't moving all that smoothly. I think he decided it was better to dive than to keep on running. Well, he effected the save anyway.
Short and dispatched away to the boundary for 4. There are just far too many loose balls being bowled by the Australians at the moment. What you've got to do in a situation like this is dry the runs up a little bit. This pitch is not easy to bat on. There's plenty of rough out there for the spinners. It's another ball that's short and wide outside off stump, and appropriately treated as well. 4 runs. 6 for 299. Mark Waugh has been introduced into the attack.
.300 up for the West Indies. 300 for 6. Who would have thought that in this second innings that they would have gotten to 300? First time in this test series that they have gone beyond 200 in their second innings.
Thick edge. And once again, they'll be looking for 3 here. 1 on the throw. Inside edge, and away he goes, and that's his half century. And well, I don't know if you heard his try down that end, but it was a good one. And boy, his mates are all out of their seats. This is a big occasion for the young man, given an opportunity here in Sydney, and when the chips are down, he's produced the half century, and he's done it quickly too.
This is a very good knock by Nagamutu. Perhaps not the best shot of his innings to bring up the half century, but anything will do at this stage. He's a happy man. West Indies needed that half century to get back into this game, have some sort of a chance, some semblance of a chance. Just need to keep it going now.
6 for 317. Good shout. He's given him. Wow, there you go, Mark Waugh over the wicket. Ridley Jacobs trying to hit him down the ground. Judged LBW, it was very full. So Mark Waugh, the part-time off-spinner, gets the big breakthrough.
Not a great time to play. All over a half volley from Mark Waugh for Ridley Jacobs. Looking for the shot he's been playing. It's pitched in line, hit the back pad, well inside the line of off stump. Ridley Jacobs' weight falling over towards his offside. Fantastic innings, 137 ahead the West Indies. They're now 7 for 317.
McLean, the new batsman. He's a handy hitter as well. It was a full delivery and Ridley Jacobs tried to belt it somewhere through mid-wicket. Beaten, possibly in fight. It was very full. Bo Kurtzon had no hesitation judging Jacobs' LBW. 62.
Down. Good work, Jossie.
That's the wicket the Australians needed. They need to break this partnership. Here it is. Oh, Ian Healy thought that was plumb. I'm not so sure that was plumb. It's gone, but he could be out this time. He's missed time. The cover's getting back. He doesn't get there. Well, he chanced his arm, got away with it. 7 for 320. Not a lot of turn for Miller in this match so far. He's off the mark with at least 2.
Great effort.
Oh, he's gone for it. He could be out. McGill's running back. It'll be a great catch if he gets it. He doesn't. It falls in, and they get 2. It's a tough one. Never really looked like making it, Stuart McGill. Tried hard. Went because he put plenty of effort into it. It was a big hit. Got the outside edge, but it flew. It was never going to be caught.
The 2 men out deep on the onside, a deep backward square and a deep mid-wicket. He doesn't want to be dragging across the line of the ball.
Goes again. Much better this time. Good use of the feet. Nicely timed and nice and straight. That was the secret to that. Excellent shot.
Very good shot. That is the direction. Straight down the ground. Mid-on and mid-off are up. Or they were up before this shot. Uses feet very well, Mahendra Nagamuto. Certainly looks good with the bat.
It's up in the air as well. Straight again. Matthew Hayden's trying to get underneath it. Goes all the way. Hit that very well, Nixon McLean. He certainly is strong. That didn't seem to come out of the middle of the bat, but it went a long way. Well, that's a good shot. It's a very good shot, Nixon McLean. Just waited for that ball to drift into him. Apologies to Nagamuto, that's a very good shot. Used his feet, punished it down the ground. There's those 4th innings totals that have been chased here at the SCG. I think over 276, that's the highest one here. That one's up in the air. It should be out. Matthew Hayden's coming around, and it is out. A disappointing end to what's been a very good innings. Mahendra Nagamuto hit a nice shot down the ground the previous ball. Went for one that's a little bit wider. And hold out to Matthew Hayden at mid-off.
Didn't get anywhere near as much bat on the ball as you'd have liked, Mahendra Nagamuto. This ball is a bit wider. Notice the one was a lot closer to his legs previously. A bit wider. Not as much control over the shot, and just succeeded in lofting it to Matthew Hayden at mid-off. Very, very disappointed, Mahendra Nagamuto. A good thing that bat didn't go very close down to the grass. It would have burnt it. But that's the end of a very good knock, though. Played well, he has done well. Nothing to be disappointed about. It's 8 for 347.
Colin Stewart is the new batsman, and he will be facing, despite the fact that it's the start of a new over. While that ball was in the air, the batsman crossed. Oh, he's hit that one. It's going to go over his head, and oh, it did too. He's way down on the boundary there, and came charging in Glenn McGrath.
only to find that the ball kept going and ended up bouncing over his head, but didn't quite reach the boundary. And that's out. Caught slip, very well bowled. That's much better. Just a little bit slower, turned a little bit, pushing down the line, and Mark Waugh just catches it as if he was shelling peas. So easy.
Well, Nixon McLean is an aggressive batsman, and he's tried to play defensively here, probably because Steve Waugh had mid-on and mid-off back, and he's finished up just getting a simple little nick to Mark Waugh. And now it's 9 down for 351.
Well, isn't this a moving moment? Courtney Walsh coming out to bat for the last time. A little guard of honour being formed there by the Australian team. He's going to walk right through the middle of it. Just a little nod there to the guys that he's played against all those years. The world record holder of wickets in Test match cricket. Also got one or two others. He's made the most ducks, and he's got the most not outs. But a standing ovation for Courtney Walsh from the crowd here, and a little guard of honour, mark of respect there from the players. Just have a look at this when he came out onto the ground. All the youngsters there, and listen to the cheer.
Well, something Clive Lloyd experienced at this very same ground a few years ago. He'll be hoping that he goes out on the winning side rather than the way that Clive Lloyd went out.
Well, he's had a go at that. It's in the air, bouncing short of mid-on. They're coming back, and there's a bit of a mix-up, wrong end. So he's off the mark, not making the mistake of going for another run that time.
Colin Stewart was looking for the second. He was running very hard. Didn't realise that his partner was quite happy to just get the one to get off the mark.
Yes, he's given him out. Well, I thought that turned quite a long way. The question is, was he going to hit the stumps? He may well have been tucking his bat in behind his pad. But that's the end of this West Indian innings now.
Matthew Hayden is the one who missed out in the first innings. Michael Slater, he got to 96. And a lot of work to be done by the Australians. They need 173 to win this match.
Right, well, it'll be interesting to see how he goes here. He's got a reputation of bowling through little niggles. Away she goes. This is the first ball of the Australian innings. And bang on target, and you can see that well, it was a reasonably decent pace just across there. You can see those cracks right on middle stump. Remember that Matthew Hayden was the victim of a delivery that pitched on middle on one of those cracks and deviated away in the first innings. Diving effort there to stop that one. Hayden very quickly back for the second. Well, he's off the mark. Yes, a lot will be sliding off the face of the bat there in the circumstances. It may even be worthwhile for the West Indies to have another catcher in that area. You can see the angle of the ball. There's just one gully there. Perhaps they should have two in. And then just a little offline. And took the man from that side, and then ended up bowling a straight delivery. Again, just a bit too straight, and again played nicely away on the onside. Just one to Hayden. He'll retain the strike, gets no wicket for 5. Oh, that could be close. That's out. Yes, he's given him no shot offered. That is the one thing you can't do. The bowler bowling round the wicket. Well, perhaps this is exactly what they were looking for. Openers quite often try and leave the ball as often as they possibly can. And, well, I've got no problems with not offering a shot. That's out. You cannot not offer a shot to a delivery angling back in like that, so close to off stump. There's no doubt that was plumb. So the West Indies celebrate. They've made a breakthrough. Hayden is out, and the score is 1 for 5. Justin Langer, the new batsman, an average of a tad over 40, and just 38 test matches. He's confronted here with quite a nasty little session. 8 overs remaining, which they should get in before the top of the hour. It'll certainly be thereabout. Justin Langer, a left-hander as well. This is the LBW. Watch this. It pitches. It's coming back in towards the stumps. It hits him just outside the stumps, not offering a shot. I think Matthew Hayden, as that flicked his pad, would have had that dreadful feeling. There's no way in the world I can get away with this. I don't think he really wanted to look at the umpire. It was almost an acceptance of misjudging that one. Short delivery, pulled away nicely by Langer, into the gap on the onside. Slater will come back for the third.
Well, Colin Stewart has been one of the West Indies players who's learned quickly on this tour. Made his debut in Melbourne, got the opportunity when they dropped Marlon Black. He's shown an ability to swing both the new ball and the old ball.
Oh, and over the top of the keeper's head. Slater going for a pull shot straight away. He's on occasions during this series misjudged the one that he pulls away. That seemed to be onto him a little bit quickly, and really he was pretty lucky here. A little straight over the top of the wicketkeeper's head. Well, I suppose fortune favours the brave, and he's certainly brave.
Everybody very eager to get into the game. Stewart. Slater, 4 runs possibly down the hill. Good chase. They dive. They knock it forward. They should run 4. Oh, economy of errors then. It was a good dive, but he knocked it away. 4 all run.
No shortage of excitement here today.
It's gone for it, and it's 4, too short. And well pulled away. He was dropped at mid-wicket off that such stroke in the first innings. Walsh tied him out. I don't think they could afford to do that here. I think they've got to frustrate Slater, stop the flow of boundaries, keep the pressure on.
I tell you, that was one hell of a shot. He's got himself in a good position for that. It wasn't one of those pull shot slogs, but it was nicely controlled. Must have got fairly close to his stumps there and taken the backward step.
Australia require 143 to win with 9 wickets in hand. Matthew Hayden's out for 5. Stewart was the bowler. Langer's on strike. 2 slips, 2 gullies, a point very square. 2 short and 2 wide. That's a poor delivery. Good shot. You need to keep the pressure on, and Jimmy Adams will be very concerned.
Well, he's shouting some advice down to his bowler. Ian Chappell was talking earlier about how Stewart's improved on this tour, particularly when he's kept the ball up to the bat. Well, a couple of times already he's succumbed to the pressure and he's bowled too short.
Langer on strike, he's on 10. That's close, that's very close, he's given in! Yes, he's gone! It's 2 for 38, now we've got a test match. The big man struck, that was plumb in front. Boy, oh boy, that's what was needed from the West Indian point of view.
Well, a team with nothing to lose and a touch of desperation about it has struck again. 2 down, 2 for 38. And that looks as though a jag back off that crack in line of middle to middle. Be interested to see the blue zone, but it looked from the naked eye as though it pitched in line. Langer out for 10, 2 for 38.
Mark Waugh having a wonderful series. Comes to the crease now with 2 slips and 2 gullies. And he fends it away. Oh, it falls short. Well, if there'd been 3 slips, he would have got him. He would have been diving forward, and that would have been out. Can't blame anybody but yourself, West Indies. 3 men in the covers at this stage is ridiculous.
New batsman in. It's come off the glove. It's a desperate attempt.
The final over to be bowled at the Sydney Cricket Ground to end the 4th day's play, and what a day it has been. It's had everything. 3 for none early on the West Indies, a rearguard action. Now they picked up 2 wickets. It's well fielded. It's the single to Mark Waugh. 5 balls remaining tonight. Slater on 18. No ball. Well, the West Indies very sloppy. It's when you need discipline. It's okay when you've got 4 great fast bowlers and bowl sides out consistently for 200, but in this situation, every run so valuable. That was a good one. Quite sharp. Can you get him to play a shot outside off stump? They need a wicket here, the West Indies. Got him ducking and weaving and hooking. Beats in. So it stumps on the 4th day. The West Indies have done well in that sort of session. Australia 2 for 44. Michael Slater not out 18. Mark Waugh not out 3. 2 for 44.